Then the Brigade of Midshipmen entered. Distinguished graduates include one President of the United States, Jimmy Carter, 2 cabinet members, 5 state governors, 19 members of Congress, and 52 astronauts. Navy won its lone national championship in 1926. The Naval Academy has produced 2 Heisman winners, Joe Bellino, the Winchester Rifle in 1960, and Roger Staubach in '63. It's always been impressive to see the cadets and midshipmen filing in for the big game. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Brando, and this is the beginning of a big day of college football on CBS. Later tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern, it's the SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper. 8th-ranked Arkansas takes on number 4 Florida in the only top 10 matchup of the day. That's coming up later. But now let's go out to Philadelphia for the invocation and our national anthem. Here's Midshipman Andrew Lewis.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation by Lieutenant Commander Richard Bonnet, Chaplain, United States Naval Academy.
I invite you to join me for prayer. Almighty God, we are gathered here within this stadium. Midshipmen, cadets, alumni, family members, and friends. The assembled generations represent an unimaginable wealth of experience and service to our nation. May your blessing be upon all those who are gathered here today and upon all those who are no longer with us. In many ways, this game is brother against brother. For when this day is over, our athletes will stand side by side on the field, and our seniors will prepare to take their place alongside those who protect our precious freedoms around the world. For even in this hour, our service members are standing the watch in harm's way. We lift them into your protection, even as we lift our athletes into your care. May they soon come safely home. We pray in the name of our eternal Father. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by a combined United States Military Academy and United States Naval Academy Glee Club, under the direction of USNA Choral Director Dr. Aaron Smith.
Stripes and bright stars through the
right, as they get ready to go in Philadelphia, time for a quick update on the ACC Championship between Wake Forest and Georgia Tech.
Your holidays with WHIO TV's Jingle Bell Sweepstakes. 3 great prizes. 1.
They live with constant reminders of this day. To call this day anticipated would be an understatement. Why does today mean more than any other day on the calendar? Why is it that every time they think of this game, they can do one more rep, run one more set? Why, when they think of this game, are they able to dig deeper than they have ever dug before? Some have never tasted victory against their rival, and some have never tasted defeat. As freshmen, they take the field knowing they will be here again, but when given the chance, will play like this game is their last game. For seniors, they are 4 quarters away from their opponent becoming their brother in arms, to whom they will entrust their lives. But until then, this will never be just another game. So why does today mean more than any other day on the calendar? Because today, they play for every soldier that has ever said the words, "Go Navy, beat Army. Go Army, beat Navy."
It is an American tradition, and today in Philadelphia, 2 academies with long and proud legacies meet once again. Commitment, desire, and brotherhood. Words that define this rivalry. Live from a sold-out Lincoln Financial Field, the 107th installment of this historic matchup. It's the Home Depot College Football on CBS. Army-Navy, the Black Knights against the Midshipmen. And Navy takes the field here in Philadelphia. Record of 8-3, looking for their 4th straight Commander-in-Chief trophy. Army is set, and here they come, the Black Knights. 5 consecutive losses coming into today, but they can erase a disappointing season with a strong showing here this afternoon. 29 seniors on this Army team as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Ian Eagle along with Boomer Esiason. Boomer, I know you look forward to this game every single year. It's still one of the great rivalries in all of sports, but Navy has dominated this rivalry. They really have controlled the action the last 4 years.
Well, they really have. You know, this is all about legacy here for Navy. As Tyler Tidwell, the great outside linebacker, told us, they have a chance to do something no other senior class in the history of the service academies has accomplished, and that is going 8-0 in service academy games. What a legacy that would be for the seniors from Navy. On the other side for Army, well, defensive end Cameron Craig told us it's all about one game, and I want to win this game more than I've ever wanted to win any other game, because they do not want to leave the legacy of not having beaten Navy in their time here at Army. So it's a huge game for so many different reasons for both teams.
It is the first Saturday in December, which means it is Army-Navy. We come back to Philadelphia for the opening kick on CBS. Back in Philadelphia, turned out to be a beautiful day. 52 degrees. Wind, though, could be a factor at 15 miles per hour. Series note, Navy leads the all-time series with a mark of 50, 49, and 7. It is a rivalry that dates all the way back to 1890. Today's game brought to you in high-definition television. Army-Navy as we head down to the field. Welcome in the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Sam Ryan.
Thanks a lot, Ian. Well, Navy senior quarterback Brian Hampton fully dressed for this game, which is interesting because his season actually came to an end October 14th. That was the Rutgers game. Blew out his left knee, tearing the ACL, the LCL, the PCL, had surgery October 26th. But Brian said, as a senior, it is his dream to take the final kneel in the victory formation should Navy be leading by a comfortable margin. Coach Paul Johnson says nothing has been decided, so Ian, Boomer, we will see how the game plays out.
Oh, I know, as Paul Johnson said, you know, we got to keep that guy away from the press. We don't want anything hanging up in the Army locker room that's going to come back to bite us.
And also doesn't want to offend Bobby Ross in any way.
Sure.
There's a respect level for what Bobby has accomplished. And look, there's still a game to be played. They jumped ahead a bit. Brian Hampton, we understand how emotional this is. Army has won the toss. They have deferred, and Navy will receive. Navy 4 straight blowout wins over Army. They've outscored them 176 to 54 during that span. We're underway. Justin Koenig on the kick. And taken in front of the 20 by Anthony Piccini, one of the up men. Of course, they're going to give me him right out of the gate. Let's take a look at our Applebee's starting lineups. For Navy, a lot of leadership on this team as we open up on a 1st and 10. Kaipo stepping up. Kaipo looking to run. Makes a cut across the 40-yard line. And Kaipo Noah knocked out of bounds by Jordan Murray after a 22-yard rip on the first play from scrimmage. Take a look at the Army defense in the 4-3 set. Craig, Harrington, Fusco, and Thompson up front. Linebackers, Rockwood, Schroed, and Scruggs, 2 seniors and a junior. And in the secondary, Laird has been a big surprise with Cooper, Murray, and the senior, Grevious. On a 1st and 10 from the 47 for the midshipmen. Handoff, Adam Ballard, who had a huge effort last year in this game, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns against Army. 4-yard gain on 1st down. Time right now to check out Boom with a View.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, for Navy on offense, it's all about keep on trucking. 137 points, almost 1,400 total yards the last 3 games. Kaipo has really speeded it up. Now on Army defense, trust and read. Be simple, trust the guy next to you, and make the tackle when you have the opportunity, like this right here.
Off the quick snap, Kaipo running right at Cameron Craig, and they limit him to a gain of 1. Brandon Thompson also in there defensively for Army. So it sets up 3rd and 5. The Navy midshipmen, the #1 rushing offense in college football. They come in averaging 333 yards rushing per game, best in the nation. This triple option attack, teams have really struggled trying to read their keys. On a 3rd and 5, it is Ballard. Ballard trying to push his way, and he's got a 1st down. Out near the 40-yard line, and Navy has a new set of downs to work with. Ballard comes up limping.
Usually don't see this on 3rd and 5, a fullback right up the middle, but this is a staple of the offense. And remember, Ballard came out of nowhere last year against Army and had a huge game in this game. And this is a big injury for the Naval Academy.
So Adam Ballard goes to the sideline. Eric Katani checks in. He's a sophomore from Kirtland, Ohio. And Kaipo on the keeper. A 2-yard pickup on 1st down. Take another look at what happened to Adam Ballard.
Look at the surge by the offensive line, displacing the defensive line of Army, but right there they go down around his legs, and running backs, it's amazing to me that they don't sprain more ankles because of the amount of weight that falls on their legs, but this could be a huge development in this game.
Adam Ballard got his starting job last year because of an injury to Matt Hall, a knee injury. And Katani gets the call. Barrett Scruggs makes that stop, a 5-yard gain for Katani. He's carried the ball now 24 times on the season for 127 yards and a touchdown. They are checking out that right ankle of Ballard.
They'll tell you what they tell you as a football player is that you have to take the opportunity to make a name for yourself. And right now, Katani has that opportunity, much like Ballard had last year when Hall went down.
Ballard, who dropped 17 pounds in the offseason, get even in better shape for his junior year. Katani, another carry, 2-yard gain. And Tony Fusco able to wrap him up. And Navy will face another 3rd down.
You know, we were talking to John Mumford, the defensive coordinator of Army, and one of the things they tried to do last year was give Navy a lot of different looks up front. Odd man fronts, even man defensive line fronts. This year they're going to keep it simple. 4-3 the whole way. Trust and read and stay at home and believe in the guy next to you.
It is a 4th and 1. It's a movement. Handoff, first man through. Katani driven backwards They didn't get there. Thompson and Scruggs collaborating.
And this is a huge play for the Army defense because essentially this is a turnover on 4th down as Scruggs, look at how low he gets and meets Katani in the hole. Tremendous defensive series right there for Army.
So Army, an early defensive statement. They'll get the football when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, United States Air Cadets.
Well, that takes teamwork.
You know, what a great defensive stand there on 4th down by the Army defense. It's exactly what they needed, as Bobby Ross was telling us this week, how fragile his team was. A little confidence right here.
And Army's offense now takes the field with the young freshman Coleman, Alabama. Nick Mahan, the starter at running back, and Jeremy Trimble, one of the top receivers statistically in Army football history. On a 1st and 10, they take over at their own 32-yard line. Army trying to snap a 5-game losing streak and trying to end their season on a positive note with a win over their rival. On 1st down, Vitti up the gut. Right near the 1st down line, a gain of 9. Trey Moran with a Keenan Little. On a double tight end set, 2nd and 1 now for Army. A throw by Williams connects. Jeremy Trimble's got a 1st down. Out at midfield, the Black Knights will have a new set of downs to work with, a 9-yard gain through the air. One more time. Boom with a view.
Well, let's talk about Army's offense right here. You're going to see naval medicine. That means a lot of Mike Vitti, the fullback. He doesn't carry the ball much, but if things go right today, he will carry it an awful lot for Army. And on defense for Navy, it's rattled the freshman quarterback Carson Williams, who's already thrown 8 interceptions. So you can look for the naval defense, try to be opportunistic and force him into mistakes.
Adam Ballard on crutches now. It is the right ankle of Ballard, who was a dominant figure in this game 1 year ago. 3 receivers set. Here's Williams flushed out. Little flip underneath to Vitti. Turns it upfield, and Vitti is across the 45-yard line trying to stay on his feet. Mike Vitti, the junior from Berwick, Pennsylvania.
You can see right there the speed of the Navy defense as this screen is set up perfectly as Williams rolls to his right, finds Vitti. He's got blockers out in front of him, but watch the pursuit of the Navy defense. And take a look at that hit right there. When we talk to the Navy defenders, I asked them, what do you think of when you hear Navy football? It's that option attack thing that we do on offense, but their defense is pretty good. And Buddy Green said this could be one of the best defenses he's had since he's been here.
Vitti, who's dealt with some knee injuries over the course of his collegiate career. Tim Fry steps in for him. He's a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. Handoff, Wesley McMahon. And he's got a 1st down. Out near the 35-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain for McMahon, a sophomore. He's a shifty running back. Had 3 uncles that served in the Navy.
Look at the way that this offense is opening for Army. Safe pass attempts by Carson Williams. And Kevin Ross, the offensive coordinator, said, listen, I know this kid's going to have a lot of butterflies. I got to calm him down at the beginning of the game. And thus far, it looks like everything's going according to plan.
4 receivers set on 1st down. Vitti the lone setback. Army on the move. And some movement up front. We'll get our first penalty of the day. Tom DeJoseph out of the ACC is our referee this afternoon.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 79, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
That's the left tackle, Brandon Cox, a sophomore from Schertz, Texas. So they'll back it up. And the first misstep that we've seen so far from this Army offense. Down to 9 minutes to play in this 1st quarter. 2-back set with McMahon and Vitti. 1st and 15 for the Black Knights. Fake the handoff. Now the reverse. And it's Jeremy Trimble trying to get to the outside. Turns the corner. Trimble down the sideline. Diving for it. He's in. Touchdown, Army.
What a play call by Kevin Ross, knowing that the Navy defense is going to pursue, and he saw that on that screenplay. He runs a double reverse, and Carson Williams, it looks to me, makes a terrific block down by the goal line as Trimble dives in for the touchdown. A nice play call, a nice execution by Army.
Jeremy Trimble, 41 yards. And the junior from Ashburn, Virginia, puts Army on the board first. Austin Miller for the extra point. 5 plays, 68 yards. Army with a 7-0 lead on Navy. 8:45 to play here in the first quarter. The 107th all-time meeting between Army and Navy. More first quarter action coming up from Philip.
I'm back.
Army-Navy here in Philadelphia for the 80th time it's been held in this city. 7-0 Army leads it. Time for the playbook presented by the Hartford. Jeremy Trimble, 41 yards. Boom.
Well, take a look at this, and if you want to endear yourself to your teammates, if you are a quarterback, as Carson Williams is here, well, you throw a lot of touchdown passes, you take your offensive lineman out to dinner, and then you make a key block down the field, as Carson Williams, number 10, does right here. Watch this block right there, and it gives Jeremy Trimble just enough room to dive into the end zone. So a nice play by the freshman quarterback from Oklahoma.
Well, the Army faithful have not had a lot to cheer about over the last 4 years. Paul Johnson's Naval Academy midshipmen have dominated this series.
I said Oklahoma, I meant Alabama. Sorry about that.
Coleman, Alabama.
Right,
Small
yes.
town, as Carson told us. Out of bounds. So even after the positive of scoring the touchdown, Navy's going to get excellent field position here after the kickoff sails out of bounds. 7-0, Army leads it. 8:40 to play in this first quarter.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. Navy will take the ball. 5 yards. First down.
So Justin Koenig unable to keep it in bounds. We'll see the Navy offense back on the field here at Lincoln Financial Field after this on CBS.
Ralphie, what would you like this year?
I want a Motorola C139 with texting, games, and graphics.
No, you'll run the bill up.
It was the classic parent cell phone block.
Run the bill.
My only hope was to go straight to the source and ask him myself.
I want a Motorola C139 with texting, games, and graphics.
You'll run the bill up, kid. Ho, ho.
No.
Hadn't they heard of GoPhone from Singular, where you can pick your plan or pay as you go with no surprise bills, solving the parent-kid cell phone conundrum?
Whoa.
Singular, raising the bar.
You've been looking forward to a celebration this big all year. It's time to indulge in Red Lobster's Big Seafood Festival, a feast we're preparing with new combinations of our biggest, most indulgent seafood, like succulent rock lobster tail and king crab with decadent jumbo shrimp scampi. Or try a combination of 3 of your jumbo shrimp favorites. The bigger the seafood, the bigger the celebration. So come in and feast before it's over, only at Red Lobster.
Totally new Jeep Compass with an available full-time Freedom Drive 1 4-wheel drive system, a high-tech dual VVT 172 horsepower engine, and still 30 miles per gallon on the highway. Jeep Compass, it's freedom in a whole new dimension.
Monday, don't miss Rosie O'Donnell. Woo! Plus, a special visit to the Playboy Club. And Dave's gonna blow up a 1,300-pound pumpkin.
Run for your life!
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Jeep, the official vehicle of the 107th Army-Navy game. Here in Philadelphia, Army with a 7-0 lead on Navy. 8:40 to play in this first quarter. Midshipmen will be playing in the Meineke Car Care Bowl on December the 30th in Charlotte. Opponent yet to be determined. Will be an ACC team. Might be Boston College. Could be Clemson.
Could be Maryland.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's some rumors out there that Maryland wants no part of this matchup.
I don't know if I'd want to try to defend this offense. I can tell you that.
Eric Katani stays in there. The injured ankle to starting fullback Adam Ballard. That is a big blow to this Navy team. Reggie Campbell able to accelerate, and Campbell out near first down yardage. He picks up 9. Charlie Rockwood, junior from Fredericksburg, Texas, the outside linebacker, makes the play.
Well, right there, that's the option in all its glory. As you see, the fake to the fullback, then the quarterback comes out and he pitches, and that time middle linebacker Cation Schroed misses the tackle. So to really defend the option, you have to be perfect. You have to be a good tackling team, and right there, that's evidence of the problems that Army could have later on today.
On the pitch, Sean White turns it upfield into Army territory, and a first down for Navy at the 45-yard line. White has really come on, the sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, averaging 12 yards per carry. That was just his 38th carry of the season, and a future potential star for Paul Johnson.
Potential? I think with runs like that, you could think that this kid's going to be a star. He already is, actually.
Also runs track for Navy. Tennessee state champion in the 100 meters back in high school. Up the gut, Katani. You just don't know which direction they're coming from with their running attack. A 14-yard pickup.
So they only run about 6 to 8 plays, but look at this. They just leave guys unblocked, and 2 Army defensive tackles run into each other, Fusco and Harrington. And, you know, that they have to be aware. Defensive tackles have got to understand that that fullback is #1 in this offense.
On first down, go to the bread and butter again, and it's Katani for a 4-yard pickup. Brandon Thompson there defensively, the junior from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
You know, Paul Johnson, the head coach of Navy, told us this week that it takes him about a quarter to figure out what the other team is trying to do to him. And then once he knows what's going on defensively, then he can really get into a rhythm of calling plays. And it seems like right here is kind of evidence of that.
2nd and 5 now for Navy. Army with a 7-0 lead. Same play, Katani driving forward, and he picks up 3.5. Brandon Thompson again on the stop for Army. Coming up tomorrow on 60 Minutes, the man with the idea that is changing the way millions of Americans are watching movies in their own homes. That's tomorrow on 60 Minutes. But what have you noticed? What is Army trying to do defensively?
Well, they're being basic. They're running a 4-3. They're not giving a lot of different looks, and they're trying to keep it simple.
As opposed to a year ago. 3rd and 2. The pitch. Sean White got right to the marker and got level Jordan Murray. This will all depend on the spot. And it should be enough for the first down.
You don't think this game means something? Just listen, folks.
First down yardage for Navy. So they keep the drive alive. Sean White's 2nd carry of the day. First man through again. It's Katani. No, Adam Ballard leaving on the first series of the day with an ankle injury. 5-yard gain. Tony Fusco, junior from Watertown, Connecticut, makes the stop.
You know, the heart of the defense is always the middle linebacker, and we were talking to Cation Schroed of the Army, and he was telling us that Ray Lewis is his favorite player in the NFL. He loves his intensity, and you can tell by that last hit that he's trying to emulate him here today.
Schroed also told us this game has been on his mind every day since last year's blowout loss. Again up the middle, and it is Schroed in on the stop against Katani, and a gain of 1. Schroed's a senior from Irving, Texas.
Remember, this senior class has never beat Navy, so as we were talking about in the open, in terms of legacy, this is something that Cameron Craig, Patient Schroed, the rest of their classmates want to leave desperately with a win here today.
Yeah, Barrett Scruggs telling us being a part of a team that finally beats Navy would be a stepping stone for this program. And Army having to deal with the quarterback keeper, Kaipo, taking it right at Barrett Scruggs. That's a 6-yard gain.
No, in the case of Army, you know, just keep them from the big play. If you want to be successful, make them go 75 yards in 10 plays. Just don't give up the huge play that we saw last year from Adam Ballard, because that's really what breaks your back. That's what makes you lose your confidence.
17 plays for Navy so far. All of them have been on the ground. This is a 1st and goal inside the 10. Campbell trying to get outside, and Army able to stack him up. Dennis Cooper and Jordan Murray, a pair of safeties ranging over, no gain on the play.
Take a look at Reggie Campbell. The Army guys were telling us that this is the big play guy in the offense. You got to really watch out for him. But look at the pursuit by the Army defense. That's terrific team defense. That's exactly what you have to do. These guys are so nifty, so hard to tackle, that it requires a bunch of players to arrive there together.
Campbell is 5'6", 165 pounds, but well put together. 2nd and goal. Kaipo on the pitch, and it's Campbell breaking free. Touchdown, Navy.
Remember, trust, read, and react. Make sure you stay where your keys take you. And this time, Army gets confused, and Kaipo makes a great read with the pitch, and there's nobody there to tackle.
It is
Campbell
methodical.
as he comes around the corner, yeah.
Boomer, they just go about their business. You know what's coming, yet there's nothing you can do about it. Matt Harmon on for the extra point to tie this game up at 7. And just think about on that drive, Katani, White, Campbell, Kaipo, all of them made positive plays. And they did it entirely on the ground. Campbell takes it for pay dirt. And we're tied up. Army-Navy, 7 apiece.
I'm Dallin Hart Jr. Welcome to Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away. Haven't changed, had much to say.
New fits.
But man, I still think them cats.
New comfort. New styles. Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler. New fits, new comfort, new styles.
So, tell me in your own words a little bit about Geico.
Well, it's one-stop shopping, really, Geico.com. You can get a free rate quote, you could compare coverage options, you could file a claim, pay your bill online, even, you know, have a little chat with an associate if you need help.
What about you? Can they chat with you?
I'm here for Geico, love. Let's not delve into my personal life, eh?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It feels pretty stable.
Yeah. It's a lot better today than yesterday.
Let's see how it feels.
Okay.
All right. Dislocation. Yeah, we're gonna have to pop it back in. You ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
You wouldn't make it in pro football, but you can get inside with VCast. Download Madden's weekly game reports, get scores, stats, and more exclusively from Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Everyone knew Coop was a great cop.
Got him, Jimmy.
But what they didn't know got him killed.
Cop's reputation's the only thing he has.
Maybe he was set up.
A new cold case, CBS Sunday.
Navy's getting ready for the big game.
Deploy SEAL.
What's this? A new helmet? It's a submarine. It looks like Navy SEALs deploying from the sub. Back to the game, and the Army is back to pass. It's a long one. This could be trouble for Navy. What's going on? Holy cow, the ball's headed for Army's end zone. It's the SEALs. The submarine force snuck in another trick play.
Well, back here in Philadelphia, Navy has tied this game up at 7 apiece. An 11-play, 65-yard drive. Reggie Campbell, 9-yard touchdown run. 4:01 to play in this first quarter.
Brian, now if you're Army, the last thing you want to do is turn the football over. You've got a nice thing going here. Keep the game close. Turnovers, is what killed Army thus far this season. If they can limit those today, hopefully they'll be able to keep this game close and actually win it.
They have the worst turnover ratio in college football as Matt Harmon kicks it off to Corey Anderson. Anderson up the middle and bottled up shy of the 20-yard line. As Navy gets down the field with Zervin Singleton and Jeff DeLees as we head downstairs. Injury report from Sam Ryan.
And I am the junior Adam Ballard, 192 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns in this game last year. Doesn't appear that will happen today. The word outside of the x-ray room is a fractured right fibula, that his day is done, although Navy will not confirm it just yet. Back to you guys.
Well, Ballard's such a big part of Paul Johnson's offense, and they are very deep, and they've got interchangeable parts, but that is a big blow.
Well, Katani's got to step up, and so far he has.
On first down, Army pinned back on a pitch. Mike Vitti looking for blocking, and Vitti is veered off to the sideline by Caldwell and McGowan. A 4-yard gain for Vitti. He came in with 40 carries on the season. He might carry it 40 times today.
Well, I think the thought process from a coaching standpoint is that, listen, we're turning the football over, we're making all kinds of mistakes, we're putting our defense in a hole, and we can't do that. Let's try to keep it simple. Let's do what we do best, go back to the fundamentals, and give it to our most trustworthy guy, and that's exactly what Vitti is.
Kevin Ross, offensive coordinator, telling us he has never seen his father, Bobby, want to win a game more than this one, even more than the Super Bowl. 2nd and 6. McMahon up the middle, able to stay on his feet near the first down marker. Tyler Tidwell in on that stop. It's a 5-yard gain, and we have received confirmation on Ballard. It is indeed a fractured fibula.
It's a shame for Ballard, and you know, it's kind of funny you bring up that quote about Kevin Ross saying that about his dad. I can remember a few North Carolina Clemson games where I could have said the same thing about my former coach when we were at Maryland together, Bobby Ross. So, but Bobby wears his emotions on his sleeve. There's no question about that, and I'm sure he's got this team revved up and prepared and figuring out some way to win this game.
On a 3rd and 2, looking to convert here with Williams throwing. Complete to Walter Hill. And that was a gasp from the quarterback in the booth, because that one looked like a pick 6.
Well, I was wondering what Jeremy Miles, number 5, was looking at, because it looked like the ball was going to go right to him. And again, you know, Carson Williams, a freshman quarterback. As Roger Staubach said, this is the game that made him the most nervous out of every game he's ever played in his career. And he would know better than I would. But right there, Jeremy Miles had a chance to take one back for 6, but for some reason didn't go on, break on the ball.
Williams, 3 of 3, 21 yards for the freshman. And they'll keep it on the ground here. Army with a 4-yard pickup. It is Vitti. 2nd and 6 coming up.
I was going to say, we were talking about Carson Williams. Listen, this kid is a big kid. He's got big-time quarterback attributes in terms of size. 6'3", 210 pounds. He could have went to Arkansas, Vanderbilt. He decided to come here because he wanted to secure his future. He wasn't thinking about NFL football. He was thinking about life after football.
A mature freshman, to say the least. And off McMahon. And not much there. Rob Caldwell, 2-yard gain. And the rest of the Navy defense getting involved. Turnovers? Well, we told you about the turnover margin. -17. Opponents' points off of turnovers. That's a whopping number. 113 points scored on Army after giving the football up.
Those numbers give coaches ulcers. And you have to figure out a way, and Bobby Ross has to figure out a way to kind of get that out of the offense. And like I said, you just go back to the fundamental. Do the things that you do well and that you have practiced since day one.
Winding down here in the first quarter. On a 3rd and 4. Williams, deep drop, a throw to Vitti. And Mike Vitti is going to come up short of a first down. Keenan Little made sure of it for Navy, the senior from Boiling Springs, North Carolina. So it brings up 4th down.
And again, people always say, how come the guys don't go past the first down markers? Well, you have to follow your playbook, and you have to follow what the defense is giving you. And here's Adam Ballard as he comes back out. And I think that Carson Williams read the defense correctly.
So Adam Ballard will join his teammates on the sideline, but he is done for the day. Owen Tolson will punt it. And a fake. He's got enough for the first down. Tim Fry, the sophomore, a strong inside runner. His oldest brother played football at the Citadel, and Fry has kept this drive going. Trick play for Army. It pays off.
Well, here you go, right to the up back. As he's going to pull around the left, it's a little trap play, and he goes inside and just barely makes it. To me, I was wondering whether or not he did make it from up here, but I can see right there in the replay that he did. And again, Bobby Ross just pulling out all the stops. He knows that Navy is a great football team, and he has to do everything he can to hold on to the football to keep the Navy offense on the sideline. That's the best defense that he can throw at Navy today.
Ross told us how disappointed he's been. He put in his mind a 3-year plan together like he did at Georgia Tech, but didn't think it was impossible here. He was unrealistic by his own admission. Handoff. Veety keeps the legs churning. And look at all the blue jerseys swarm around Mike Veety. A 3-yard gain as time will run out in this first quarter. Army and Navy tied at 7. The Home Depot College Football on CBS continues after this message and a word from your local station. We're coming back to Philly in a moment.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And buy a PC.
What?
Well, I know you like
the new AT&T. Make the switch to AT&T and get the fastest internet in town for the price. Make the switch from your old cable company to the new AT&T today and get the incredible value of unlimited local service and unlimited long distance, plus high-speed internet and Singular Wireless. All 4 services for under $95 a month. And be sure to ask how you can qualify for a Motorola Razr, free. This is a limited time offer, so call today to get the fastest internet in town for the price and wireless service on the network with the fewest dropped calls. Unlimited local and unlimited long distance, high-speed internet, and Singular Wireless. All 4 great services for under $95 a month. And while you're at it, be sure to take advantage of our limited time offer and find out how you can qualify for a Motorola Razr, a $100 value, yours free. Call now to get all 4 services at one great price. Great choice and a great value. It's that simple. The new AT&T. Your world delivered.
James Brown, weekday mornings beginning at 5 on News Center 7.
For 52 weeks, they live with constant reminders of this day. To call this day anticipated would be an understatement.
Welcome back, everybody. Ian Eagle, Boomer Esiason, Sam Ryan, the rest of our CBS crew. Army Navy tied at 7 as we start play in this second quarter.
It has been said before that today they butt heads, but tomorrow they stand shoulder to shoulder.
And that was echoed in our meetings with both teams. There is a brotherhood. Handoff. McMahon makes a cut and able to turn it upfield out near the 50-yard line. John Chan, the senior from Pleasant Hill, California, out of famed De La Salle High School. What a program that is out on the West Coast. And Chan achieved his dream of becoming team captain of a team that won 3 state championships while he was there and 1 national championship. Some pretty big names that he shared that locker room with.
How about Maurice Jones-Drew, the running back from Jacksonville, was his teammate, and what a terrific young man he is.
On a 3rd and 5 now from the 49. See if Army can breathe some life into this drive with Mike Veety. And Veety's got a first down for the Black Knights.
And you could see the confidence building on the sideline of Army now as they start having some success offensively. Mike Veety, a little draw play right here. He's going to follow Pete Beer. Nice block right there. More than enough yardage to get the first down.
Mike Veety has been wearing the same shirt under his uniform since his junior year of high school. It's got to be a little gamey right now, don't you think?
I would think so, yes. Well, fullbacks tend to be gamey. And I don't want to insult all those fullbacks that I used to play with, but they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was Boomer, by the way. To make sure everybody understands. Tony Moore now in the backfield. And Williams loses the football. And a huge loss on the play back in Army territory. Tyler Tidwell helping to make sure of it.
Well, this was going to be a pass, and it looked like it was supposed to be a play-action pass. But Williams looked like he forgot about it, or actually just faked it a little bit late, and the ball was knocked out of his hands. Take a look at this. He's got to be a little bit more sure as he was looking downfield and losing track of where his running back was. So that I would consider that a freshman mistake, okay?
Well, you had two freshmen there. You had Williams and you had Tony Moore. So take your pick on either the freshman quarterback.
I think it's on the quarterback.
On a 2nd and 16 now with a 3-receiver formation for Williams and Army. Drop one. And Vitti doesn't have much room to work with. Thursday on Survivor, with only 3 episodes left, family members visit the island, but will they help or hurt the survivors? Plus, what may be the toughest challenge in Survivor history? You be the judge. That's Thursday on CBS.
I'll tell you, that fumble was a killer for the Army offense. They're not built to make big plays like this on 3rd and long. And again, Carson Wentz has got to be very careful. And I would think that Kevin Ross is going to be somewhat conservative here.
On a 3rd and 14 for Army. Deep drop. Williams steps up. He'll throw. Mike Wright. Diving grab, his 8th catch of the year. The sophomore from Des Moines, Iowa, with Clint Sovey in on coverage. The sophomore linebacker, a 5-yard gain, 4th down.
You know, and again, a very conservative call by Kevin Ross, just trying to get the completion. Hopefully the receiver can break some tackles, but can't do that, obviously, when he falls down. It's a field position game, trying to pin Navy back inside their 20.
Owen Tolson will punt it. Jason Tomlinson waiting, averaging just over 7.5 yards per return. That takes an Army roll. Down to the 8-yard line and touched up by the Black Knights. 35-yard punt, well placed. Second quarter action continues live from Philadelphia.
Taking a quick break? I'd like to see that for someone very special.
The Leo Diamond, independently certified for superior brilliance and selected to match beautifully by Kay Jewelers.
Chris, how did you know? Every kiss begins with K.
Get ready for holiday guests with help from the Home Depot. A decorative sconce is a warm welcome to all visitors.
Wow.
You can transform your dining room with a unique paint project and a beautiful chandelier. Or change an entire room with a stunning new area rug.
Nice.
My mom did it.
Get started now at the Home Depot.
Applebee's brings the holidays new flavor with our juicy new Sicilian sirloin, together with tender shrimp and rich crab stuffing. Spectacular holiday steak and seafood, only at Applebee's.
With Dell, no middlemen means no runaround, so nothing slows my business down. I get just the technology I want from someone who's always there to answer for it. No excuses. And that's what I really needed, a partner who's as quick and responsive as the bikes we build.
Dell PowerEdge 2950 servers feature the reliability of dual-core Intel Xeon processors. It's your enterprise, so every Dell solution is purely you.
It's December, and it's do or die. Jets, Packers, Jags, Dolphins, Colts, Titans. A pressure-packed Sunday on CBS.
We're the Naval Operational Medicine Institute. Go!
Go Raven! Sing Army! Go Raven! Sing Army! Sing Army!
I think that's our first underwater spirit spot that we've had over the last 5 years. Paul Johnson, he is 8-1 as a head coach against Service Academy teams, 4-0 against Army. And this week, Boomer, some rumors about the head coaching vacancies at NC State and Alabama. Spoke with him about it. He downplayed it. They're all rumors. He said, I have a great job. Why would I leave? Why would I do it? But there's this other perception that maybe this offense wouldn't work in a big-time program. You agree or no?
I don't agree, because I think he would adapt this offense to the players that he has at hand. And here they don't throw the ball at Navy because I think they have a hard time getting a quarterback who does throw, so that's why they run the option.
On the toss, here's Campbell. On a zigzag move, he picks up just a yard as Charlie Rockwood read it perfectly. Had a knee injury last year. He played in only 3 games. Grandfather was a colonel in the Army, part of a special forces unit.
I think, though, if Paul Johnson went to an NC State or an Alabama, you know, he would tailor his offense to those athletes. So if I were a left tackle at Alabama who has NFL aspirations, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I think he would throw the ball there, because this is a spread offense that essentially has 4 wide receivers on the field.
On a 2nd and 9, Kaipo will carry it. Now the toss. Campbell unable to turn the corner. Kason Schroed, a 3-yard gain for Campbell, setting up 3rd down for Navy.
Well, Kason Schroed doing his best Ray Lewis imitation. This is perfectly read by the Army defense. This is read the fullback. He doesn't have it. Fine. Go after the quarterback. Get in the alley. Get the pitch man. The pitch man gets the ball. And again, look at how many Army defenders are over there. So John Mumford has these guys schooled up pretty good today.
And Boomer Johnson added, look, if we had a QB with a big arm,
we'd thrown it.
Of course. I'd be silly. I'd be a bad coach if I didn't utilize that. Adam Ballard out along the sideline. Kaipo. First down run. And it was all Kaipo making it happen. Kaipo Noah Kayaku Inada, the sophomore from Hawaii who has stepped in the leadership role at QB.
Well, you get opportunities to make plays, and Tony Fusco has one right there. He does not make it, and Kaipo does. And that's just, you know, that's a little street ball right there. That's just being spontaneous and making plays and making a key first down for Navy.
Kaipo was a backup wide receiver. And Kaipo on the quarterback keeper. Again, Cameron Craig sticking with him. Senior from Garden City, Kansas. Craig has a great motor and is Army's all-time leader in sacks.
I just want to finish up that thought on Paul Johnson. And he was non-committal. Listen, he's going to be on everybody's radar because of the success that he has had here at the Naval Academy. I would definitely interview him if I had the opportunity. But more importantly, he said he loves his job at Navy. He's not thinking about leaving Navy, and we shouldn't give the impression that he is.
Eric Katani up the gut. And Jordan Murray able to push him backwards. A gain of 5. Murray, junior from Maysville, Kentucky. One of 6 children and the only player on this team from the state of Kentucky.
And again, another important situation for both squads. More importantly for Army, you know, you want to get this Navy offense off the field when you have the chance. That's why that missed tackle by Tony Fusco on the previous 3rd down looms so large right now.
What did Navy's defensive coordinator Buddy Green say? It's a dream, the option, the triple option for a defensive coordinator, because of time management. Just watch the clock go tick, 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 and your defensive players aren't out there getting tired.
Well, it's a dream for him as the defensive coordinator for Navy, because he does not have to defend it.
Exactly.
He gets to watch it and root for it.
And he just watched Kaipo gain a first down up the middle for a 5-yard gain. And Navy is on the move once again, looking to take the lead.
It was interesting when we were talking to Kaipo and he came in, I was saying, there's no way that this guy could be the quarterback. He was so quiet and so shy. And then when you talk to his teammates, they say he's not like that on the field, and he's not like that with us on the practice field, especially.
25 plays for Navy, all of them on the ground. Not this one, or is it? Kaipo is devoured. Charlie Rockwood, his 2nd sack of the season. He was not even going to play football in college. He was set to attend Texas A&M, but decided to give Army a chance.
Well, they say there are such things that are called coverage sacks, and that's exactly what this is. Good coverage by the Army secondary. Kaipo's trying to go down the sideline, it looks to me. And again, he comes off and tries to run and make a play, but this is huge for Army now. They have to hold down the running attack, because you know that that's what's coming right here.
Fatani, the big fullback who has stepped in for Adam Ballard. Fake the handoff initially, then get it to White. And Army was prepared. 2-yard gain on the short side of the field. Kason Schroed and Jordan Murray there to make the play. And it sets up 3rd and 16 for the Naval Academy.
Every one of these Army seniors told us this week that we spoke to that this game could make or break a season. In the case of Army, it would make their season. In the case of Navy, it would break an opportunity to leave a legacy of going 8-0 in Service Academy games. And that's why I think these players play with so much emotion in this game.
Kaipo steps up. Kaipo throwing the deep ball and picked off but out of bounds. John Laird. But Army's defense has done its job. Laird, the junior from Leesburg, Virginia. 3rd string as a sophomore, starting now as a junior.
And one thing that I do really like about Army this year on defense, keeping it simple, letting the players play, not too much thinking out there. They're reacting, they know their assignments, and they're making it difficult for this Navy offense.
Greg Viteto will punt it for Navy. Jeremy Trimble is waiting at his own 24-yard line. And Trimble averaging better than 18 yards per return off of punts with a couple of touchdowns. So Army will have it right around the 30-yard line. The Home Depot College Football on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
Without a trace, CBS Sundays.
Enter WHIO-TV's Jingle Bell Sweepstakes. Call 1-866-29-GIFTS. See Hometown Values magazine and take advantage of a great offer from Varicose to Perfect. You always pay less at Rex. Get 10% off all merchandise during Rex's Coupon Mania event. Now until December 2nd. Get 10% off our already guaranteed low prices on every item in every department. This 50-inch Panasonic Plasma TV was $27.77, but is now only $24.99. This 32-inch Westinghouse LCD TV was $8.88, but is now only $7.99. Look for the ad in the Dayton Daily News and bring in the coupons for fantastic savings. You always pay less at Rex since 1926. Enter WHIO-TV's Jingle Bell Sweepstakes. Call 1-866-29-GIFTS. See Hometown Values magazine and take advantage of a great offer from Papa Murphy's. Ace Music Superstore wants to wish you happy holidays with our annual half-off holiday sale. Electric guitar packages including amp, carrying bag, and strap are now starting at only $189. Children's guitars, $29. Ukuleles, $19. This 5-piece drum set complete with cymbals, stands, and seat is starting at only $299. That's half off. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. We're musicians serving musicians. Call us at 253-4318 or stop in today. Ace Music Superstore, 723 Waterville Avenue, Dayton. Enter WHIO-TV's Jingle Bell Sweepstakes. Call 1-866-29-GIFTS. See Hometown Values magazine and take advantage of a great offer from Direct Buy.
Natasha Williams, weekday mornings beginning at 5 on News Center 7.
Army and Navy tied at 7:6:16 to play here in the first half. Let's head down to the field, check in with Sam Ryan.
And Ian, while Army freshman quarterback Carson Williams is playing in the international spotlight here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, his father, Frank Williams Jr., is miles away overseas in Iraq. He was deployed back in July, but Carson told me he and his dad speak every day via email. They also share the same patch on their uniform, 1st Cav Division patch. It's on the combat uniform of his dad, Frank Williams Jr. And Carson told me he just got his by coincidence when he was given his jersey. It had the 1st Cav Division patch in it. Pretty neat, huh?
Well, Carson also mentioned that his dad wanted to name him Atticus from To Kill a Mockingbird. His aunt said, "You're crazy." And right now they're going crazy in Camp Arifjan in Kuwait. They like what they have seen so far.
And I like what I see right there. How great is that to see those young men and women so happy to be a part of this game? That's terrific.
We are tied at 7 in a fast-moving first half in Philadelphia. Tony Moore and Mike Vitti in the backfield. Vitti has been the workhorse so far. And off to Moore. Able to carry some tacklers with him for a gain of 4. Moore known as the Big Diesel. His high school won a Georgia State championship as a senior out of Tulsa Union.
You know, here's one of the unique things that happens at Army. You know, you get there as a freshman, you enter what they call the Beast Barracks, and that's where they take the freshmen and they just rip them apart. They beat them down mentally to see if they're tough enough to handle it. And how about Walter Hill, who's a senior? He was Carson Williams' supply officer. So, you know, Carson has to be subservient to his officer, but how do you quarterback a guy that you're supposed to be, you know, looking up to?
Here's Vitti on a 2nd and 6. And battles his way for first down yardage. Needed 6, he got 6. And Williams told us about Hill, well, maybe he took it easy on me a little bit because of our football connection.
And that's the way you run when you are a fullback. You lower your shoulder, you take on a defender, and you fall forward. And you were making fun of fullbacks before, saying they were gamey, but you know what? They are tough guys.
But you can't make up.
What do you mean?
It's the tape doesn't lie.
You started it.
Under 5 minutes to go in this first half. And a first down. Williams on the quick toss. It is Hill. And not much there after the catch.
You know, we were talking a little bit before about Bobby Ross, how he thought he could develop a 3-year program here, much like he did at Georgia Tech, which he led to a national championship. But there are a couple things here that make it a little bit more difficult. Number one is the Beast Barracks. That's where the freshmen have to go. They have to kind of get acclimated to West Point, not very easy. And then the summer of their sophomore year, they go to Camp Buckner for 6 weeks. And it takes them out of their summer development from football, and they come back usually, you know, 10, 15, 25 pounds lighter than when they started.
Fake on the reverse, and it's Moore taking it himself. A 4-yard gain for Moore.
And those things basically impede the development of the younger players, Ryan. And where other colleges get their kids into school early, you know, they get them set academically, they get them to work out year-round on football. It's not happening here at West Point.
You know Bobby Ross as well as anybody, Boomer, having played for him at Maryland. What was your sense of his mood, where this program is at in year 3 of his tenure?
I think they're better. I think their freshman class and their sophomore class is better than they have been in a while. But I think that he's frustrated, but I also know that he loves his job and he loves his kids. So, you know, while he's frustrated, as Army calls timeout right here, he is certainly feeling like he's invigorated this program.
3.5 to play in this second quarter. Army and Navy deadlock at 7.
The world's first 4-door, 5-passenger Wrangler. Wrangler Unlimited. A new species from Jeep.
Honey, look! Dolphin! Wow, I can't believe it! Ah!
There's a better way to phone for less.
Sweet bondage!
Unlimited local and long-distance calling, just $24.99 a month. That's a savings of up to 50% on your phone bill.
Honey, the Dolphins! Come on, let's go play!
Bondage, one smart decision among many, many stupid ones. Call 1-800-989-4VON.
Only 1 in 4 people are very confident they have saved enough for retirement. Who can help you feel more confident about your future? The Hartford. Prepare to live your future the way you've always seen it. See your advisor about the latest products and solutions from The Hartford. Because you're not preparing to retire, you're preparing to live. The Hartford. Prepare to live.
I need you to take an interest in our finances.
Wouldn't that be more useful doing something I'm good at, like soda shopping or
The King of Queens.
lying down?
Season premiere CBS Wednesday.
Navy game.
Captain, radar just picked up something very large. I see it. It's unbelievable. It's an Army Corps of Engineers dam. Captain, you're through to the Army dam. Army dam. The SS Smelt request passage across your dam.
Yeah, Navy Captain, permission granted, but not through the locks. Salmon and squids use the fish ladder to the right.
Ensign, stay right and follow the salmon. I hate it when they call us squids.
You know, these two teams compete on the football field. They compete with their spirit messages. They want to outdo one another every year here on CBS. Army-Navy for the 11th consecutive year here on CBS. And coming up Tuesday on CBS, heat your holiday season with the world's most beautiful women and a superstar performance from Justin Timberlake. The hottest night of television, the Victoria's Secret Fashion Show. Tuesday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. 2 timeouts remaining for Army, 3 timeouts remaining for Navy, 3.5 to go in this first half, and a 3rd and 6 for the Black Knights who enter action at 3 and 8. Williams, the drop, the throw over the middle, dropped by Tim Dunn. Oh, the senior, he's a local product here in Philadelphia from Chalfont, Pennsylvania, unable to haul it in.
Oh, you're so easy to say it's a drop. I'll tell you, he would have loved to have made this catch. It's a little bit tougher than you made it sound. I mean, come on now. But it was a good throw. It was a throw only his receiver could catch. All right, I'll give it to you. He should have had it.
I knew you'd come away to my side. Tomlinson, the return man. And a fair catch called for. That'll be inside the 20. So while Army did not score, they didn't make a monumental mistake either. And Navy will have 3 minutes and 18 seconds to work with here at the end of the first half. We are tied at 7 in Philadelphia.
Today, they play for every soldier that has ever said the words, "Go Navy, beat Army. Go Army, beat Navy."
You love our burgers, and that's just the beginning. Introducing our premium age prime sirloin, cut from the best of the best beef.
Prime is what a steak lover lives for.
Almost too tender for a knife, too juicy for words. And try our new fresh jumbo lump crab cake. All jumbo lump meat, nearly no cake. Uncompromising quality, incredible freshness. Yours always, Ruby Tuesday.
And everywhere I go, there's always something to remind me of another place and time.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up with the Geico halftime report, Spencer and I will get you caught up on all of today's action, including Louisville beat UConn 48-17. So the Cardinals need a Rutgers loss tonight at West Virginia to wrap up the Big East and a BCS berth. Now let's get you back to Army-Navy. Folks over at Camp Arifjan in Kuwait want a defensive stand from Army. We have 3:18 to play in this first half. Army and Navy tied at 7.
If for anything, this game should remind us that those people are over there, and we should never forget the sacrifices that they are making.
The Navy midshipmen, they are used to putting up big numbers on the ground. They've got 133 yards rushing in this first half, yet to record a passing yard.
They've been close, and this is an important part of the game for both Navy from an offensive perspective, but maybe even more important for Army as a defense.
Doing it without Adam Ballard. Here's Kaipo stepping up. Kaipo accelerating, breaking one tackle, and Kaipo comes up just shy of the 25-yard line. Jordan Murray and Barrett Scruggs. It's a 7-yard gain.
Again, another coverage situation here for Navy down the field as Kaipo drops back. He's looking for the shallow cross right there before him, but you can see he's running into coverage. And again, a nice job by the Army defense rallying to the tackle. But again, remember, think back to last year, Ian, in this situation where Navy just took the ball down the field and really put the game out of reach.
It was 14-10 Navy with just over a minute left. Tomlinson, the throw, and a flag down. 14-10 Navy, and they scored in about a minute at the end of that first half to make it 21-10.
Prior to the snap, false start, 80 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's O.J. Washington. Army never recovered last year. Coming up, the Geico halftime report. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, and Tony Barnhart will get you caught up on all the action on this championship Saturday. Plus, we'll talk about the BCS and the coaching carousel, which is in full swing. It's coming up on the Geico halftime report. Navy does not make a lot of mistakes. 5th fewest penalty average in college football. 2nd and 7. Back to the 20-yard line. We come up on 2 minutes to play in this first half. Kaipo able to break one tackle, cannot get through that second wave of the Army defense. A 1-yard gain, and Cameron Craig along with Charlie Rockwood making the stop.
And you can see Charlie Rockwood upset with himself because he has Kaipo in the backfield right here, but he does not give up on the play. Take a look at this. This is the pursuit that we're seeing from Army today on defense, and I think that's a kind of the recipe that Army needs to bottle up this Navy offense.
It'll be a 3rd and 6. John Laird for Army limped off the starting field corner for the Black Knights. Laird, who was a high school quarterback, converted to the secondary at West Point.
You know, you take a look at these 3rd down conversions, you can see that Navy usually is in 3rd and medium or 3rd and short. And they usually make it. Right here, it's 3rd and medium. And again, we go back to points in a game where if you are the underdog, which Army is today, you have to make the play. This is one of those situations where they need to stop Navy on offense and try to get the ball back.
Kevin Opoku has come in to replace Laird on defense. On 3rd down, deep drop. Kaipo knocked down. It is the freshman, Victor Ugini from Atlanta, Georgia.
Terrific play by Ugini, who reads the eyes of Kaipo. He goes up and knocks the ball down, but number 66, Tony Fusco, read the screen. He actually turned around to go after the screen receiver, but a nice play by Ugini.
That is the first 3 and out we have seen from this Navy offense. Ugini, who is a first-generation immigrant from Nigeria, and he has had an impact in his freshman season for Bobby Ross. Greg Viteto, he's looking to run. And Viteto has got the first down. We saw a trick play on special teams earlier from Army. And now Navy has returned the favor, an 18-yard run with 1:26 to play in this first half.
What an unbelievable call by Paul Johnson. How dangerous. 4th down. And look at this. What a terrific play call. What a gutsy play call by Paul Johnson. And what perfect execution by the Navy as Viteto takes it in for the 1st down. What a terrific play call.
Viteto walked on the football team. He was a soccer goalie in high school. Kaipo, and too high for Tomlinson.
And you can see the Navy coaches reacting to this. They think there should be pass interference here. But if Army goes on to lose this football game, that 4th down play will be a turning point in this game. What a gutsy call by Paul Johnson.
Well, we'll see if Navy can turn it into points here. 2nd and 10. John Laird has returned for Army. There's Kaipo. Loses the ball. Army's got it. Cameron Craig on the recovery. And the Black Knights take over with 1:09 left in the first half.
How happy is Cameron Craig, and how happy are they at Camp Harris, John? Cameron Craig, remember the senior who told us that this game could save a career, save a season. And he's been thinking about nothing but this game. And right here, forced fumble. He falls on it, and what a great opportunity now for Army.
And it was the freshman again, Ugini, making the play, stripping the ball free from Kaipo. And Army takes over with a 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Here's Williams in the pocket. He loses the ball.
I think they'll call this back as intentional grounding.
A penalty marker is on the play. John Chan came fighting through for Navy. He's been an excellent pass rusher for the midshipmen. And as Boomer said, intentional grounding against the freshman Williams.
And Williams was locked up, and he was just trying to get rid of the football and nobody in the vicinity.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Number 10. The penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
And I think now if you're Army, everybody's just got to calm down here for a second and catch their breath and be careful that this kid doesn't make a huge mistake at this point in the game. So the correct call by the official, and Williams was trying to avoid the sack.
And he was trying to make a play, but it could have turned into a major disaster for Army if Navy comes up with that football.
In the NFL, they say rookies.
And Williams loses it. Vitti there to recover, and Army might just want to take a knee here and go to the locker room at 7-7.
Trying to give Bobby Ross a heart attack or what?
Bobby Ross. The Army Black Knights and Navy midshipmen tied at 7.
Honey left! Dolphin! Wow, I can't believe it! Ah!
There's a better way to phone for less.
Sweet bondage!
Unlimited local and long distance calling, just $24.99 a month. That's a savings of up to 50% on your phone bill.
Honey, the Dolphins! Come on, let's go play!
Bondage, one smart decision among many, many stupid ones. Call 1-800-989-4VON.
This hurts more than shopping for auto insurance.
Suck it up, champ. Esurance takes the pain out of it.
What? I need collision coverage now.
With some of the fastest quotes on the web, Esurance makes it easy to save on auto insurance.
That's why thousands of drivers switch to Esurance every week.
Esurance has got you covered in every season.
Quote by
Touchdown! If you're on the go, you gotta have Esurance.
Get your fast, free auto insurance quote. Visit Esurance.com today.
Buy a Storm jacket, get a $20 gift certificate towards a future purchase.
With only 2 Amazing Race episodes to go, it's good to have a sense of direction and not get caught in a food fight. A new Amazing Race. That's tomorrow after 60 minutes. How about Paul Johnson using one of his timeouts to stop the clock with 40 seconds left?
Absolutely the correct thing to do. You know, you have a freshman quarterback on the other side. 2 bad plays in a row. See if you can get your team back into field position and never take anything for granted. As a matter of fact, my old head coach with the Jets, Pete Carroll, used to tell me never leave timeouts on the board, and that's exactly what Paul Johnson should have done.
3rd and 25. Fake the handoff. Williams throwing, and nobody home. Looking for Jeremy Trimble, who was in the vicinity. And Army will punt it with 35 seconds left on the clock.
Every time you say the name Jeremy Trimble, I think of his dad, Steve Trimble, who I played with at the University of Maryland. Can't believe I'm calling his son's game here.
What are you saying, that you're getting older?
I guess so.
Jeremy played in the NFL for Denver and Chicago. Jeremy's grandfather was in the Air Force.
I don't go back that far.
Well, maybe you do. Owen Tolson. With Tomlinson winning. Good punt by Tolson. And it deadens at the 6-yard line. Coming up next, a possible national title shot is in the air. Darren McFadden and the Arkansas Razorbacks tangle with Chris Leak and the Florida Gators. It's the SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson on the call. Coming up here on CBS. Tail of the tape, Arkansas and Florida Gators. Urban Meyer still thinking there might be a BCS shot.
Well, I think a few things would have to happen for that. But how about Darren McFadden from Arkansas? What a terrific football player. Here's the interesting thing now. I think Navy is going to keep its team on the sideline and let the clock run out. Remember, change of possession in college, the clock starts on the ready for play. And I think Navy's just going to elect to go into halftime tied. So if you're Army, this is a great, great feeling you have going into halftime, building up your confidence.
Last 4 years, Army has been outscored by Navy 176 to 54. Navy looking for their 4th consecutive Commander-in-Chief trophy, 35th anniversary of the trophy. And we head downstairs to Sam Ryan.
So, Paul, you lose your leading rusher the first drive of this game for you. 4th down there, you tried to get something going there with that gamble, trying to get some momentum. What do you have to do differently in the second half?
Well, we just got to make some plays. Our, quarterback first time in this game, and he's a little jittery, and we missed some reads, and we've got to do a better job up front. We can play better than that. We will in the second half.
Well, your seniors have the chance to do something really special here, go 8-0 against Service Academies. What do you tell them inside?
We've got to make some plays. We've got to get them off the field, and then we've got to make some plays.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, Sam, thanks very much. Army and Navy, they are tied at 7 at the end of the first half. Time to head to our New York studio as we check in with Tim Brando.
Thanks, Zion. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer and I will have all of today's scores and highlights, including Louisville doing its part to stay in the running for a BCS Bowl after this word from your local station.
Dennis Haysbert stars in The Unit, CBS Tuesdays.
Ace Music Superstore wants to wish you happy holidays with our annual half-off holiday sale. Electric guitar packages including amp, carrying bag, and strap are now starting at only $189. Children's guitars, $29. Ukuleles, $19. This 5-piece drum set complete with cymbals, stands, and seat is starting at only $299. That's half off. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. We're musicians serving musicians. Call us at 253-4318 or stop in today. Ace Music Superstore, 723 Waterville Avenue, Dayton.
Welcome back to Safe Auto Insurance Company, where representatives are standing by.
Today, we're asking callers why they've chosen Safe Auto. Let's see who's on the line.
I'm Carlos from Toledo. I save $40 a month by calling 1-800-SAFE-AUTO.
Thanks for calling. Who's next?
This is Charlene from Harrisburg. Safe Auto is easy to deal with, and they were helpful and friendly on the phone.
There you have it. Remember, representatives are standing by.
So call now for immediate coverage.
1-800-SAFE-AUTO. We keep you legal for less.
Play it safe, Safe Auto. You always pay less at Rex. Get 10% off all merchandise during Rex's Coupon Mania event. Now until December 2nd. Get 10% off our already guaranteed low prices on every item in every department. This 50-inch Panasonic Plasma TV was $27.77, but is now only $24.99. This 32-inch Westinghouse LCD TV was $8.88, but is now only $7.99. Look for the ad in the Dayton Daily News and bring in the coupons for fantastic savings. You always pay less at Rex since 1926.
Jim Baldridge, weekdays beginning at 5 on News Center 7.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico.com. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geico Halftime Report. I'm Tim Brando with the score in Philadelphia. All tied at 7. Spencer Tillman joins me. A surprising effort, really, by Army, particularly on defense.
To show you what this series is all about, you throw caution to the wind in this series, folks. Paul Johnson's Middies come in this ranked #1 in the nation in rushing. Guess what? The Black Knights, Bobby Ross's bunch, 115th in the country, yet they're in the 7-7 deadlock. Go figure that one.
Indeed. Getting right to the scoreboard, Wake and Georgia Tech going at it in the ACC championship game, Spencer.
Well, here's the guy who's been hottest in the league last month or so, Tashard Choice, 24 yards. This is going to lead to a field goal to put him up 3-0 Georgia Tech. He's an outstanding back.
Reggie Ball, the quarterback who's been inconsistent, picked off by linebacker Aaron Curry. He runs it back to the 44-yard line. Wake Forest would come back and tie this game. Reggie Ball's 8 completions, 7 of the 8 have gone to Calvin Johnson. Man. Skinner, 7 of 13 for 76 yards in the game. For Wake, they nailed trail by 3. The winner moving on to the Orange Bowl. Connecticut and Louisville. Speaking of oranges, here's Anthony Allen.
Anthony Allen on the outside stretch play just lowers his head and punches it in for the score. 3 yards there. Put him up 41-10, Tim.
Brian Brom to Gary Barnage. He does most of this yards after catch. Brom, 341 yards passing, 4 touchdowns on the day. Harry Douglas with almost 150 yards receiving. There is at least 1 orange to be thrown. I think they threw more on you back in the day at Oklahoma. 48-17. And as I said, a big story was the play of Brom. As you look at the Big East standings, Rutgers lost tonight at West Virginia. Louisville captures the title and the BCS berth opposite the ACC champion. Stanford and California, the 109th big game. Jeff Tedford's team looks to be headed for the Holiday Bowl or the Sun Bowl. Well, a reminder, there's a lot more football tomorrow with the NFL on CBS. Regional action. Many of you will see the Jets and the Packers, or the Jaguars and the Dolphins. It all begins at noon Eastern with JB and the gang on the NFL Today. Coming up, we'll talk to Tony Barnhart about who's in, who's out in the coaching carousel, plus a discussion of the BCS and an SEC championship preview as Florida tries to stay in the hunt for a spot in the national title game.
Meet Mark Millar, investor.
I help people manage their pet's health. Make the right decisions early on, and your pet will thrive. It's the same with retirement planning. All actions you take today can impact what happens later.
TD Ameritrade offers tools like Morningstar Instant X-Ray to help ensure that your portfolio is properly balanced. Open an easy IRA today and trade commission-free for 45 days. Independence. It's the spirit that drives America's most successful investors.
You've been looking forward to a celebration this big all year. It's time to indulge in Red Lobster's Big Seafood Festival, a feast we're preparing with new combinations of our biggest, most indulgent seafood, like succulent rock lobster tail and king crab with decadent jumbo shrimp scampi. Or try a combination of 3 of your jumbo shrimp favorites. The bigger the seafood, the bigger the celebration. So come in and feast before it's over. Only at Red Lobster.
Hi, honey. We're here to help you decorate.
Sorry, guys. I went to the Home Depot. Oh, no, she's the decorator.
Come on, Warren.
Introducing Holiday Home Accents from the Home Depot. An exclusive new line of decorations and accessories to help fill your home with holiday cheer. Holiday Home Accents, only at the Home Depot.
I've been really good this year, and the only thing I want is one of those amazing phones.
Well, Timmy, do you mean VCast phones? The NV plays VCast video, and its full keyboard makes it great for texting.
And the Mint Chocolate's perfect for music lovers. It's got an MP3 player.
You know I'm working here.
Only Verizon Wireless has the gifts you want, like the hottest LG VCast phones. Now get these 2 fully loaded phones for just $49.99. Happy holidays from the network.
Let's go.
This is 10%. 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Welcome back. Just a reminder, coming up next at 6 o'clock Eastern, it's the SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper.
Touchdown! Nifty pass. Got a man. Touchdown. Great speed. Leak on the right. How about this? Oh, my gosh.
We now welcome Tony Barnhart of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, who's down at the Georgia Dome. Tony, how do you see this matchup shaping up tonight?
Well, Timmy, I don't think there's any question. This game comes down to Florida's defense against the great Arkansas running game. 2 numbers you need to know. Darren McFadden has averaged 169 yards in Arkansas's 3 biggest games. And here's the stat to keep in mind. When a back runs over for 100 yards in the SEC this season, teams are 33-3. Can they stop McFadden?
Well, the passing game has certainly been easily stopped, Spencer, and that's something I talked to Houston Nutt about yesterday. He says Mustaine may play, but he's really managing that Malzahn Mustaine situation with Casey Day.
He's managing is Houston Nutt, his offensive coordinator, and his quarterback in that first year. You remember that LSU game? You saw a lot of jaw-jacking going over. That's Houston Nutt managing a first-year coach in the offensive coordinator position. Watch that, but expect Mitch Mustaine to play today.
Tony, does Urban Meyer, whether he likes it or not, have to win with style tonight?
Well, I think he does. I mean, Coach Meyer all week has been talking about the fact that it's not style points, it's winning against a tough schedule. He's got a point. The way the NCAA figures strength of schedule, his opponents are 35 games over 500. But I'm telling you, if USC wins tonight against UCLA, it's over. I think it's all over.
All right, since last week, fellas, the BCS has taken a 180-degree turn, and it all begins really with the Rose Bowl. Rather than taking Notre Dame as an at-large, it seems, lo and behold, to have done the right thing, Tony, making a commitment to LSU to play Michigan.
Well, LSU gave them 42,600 reasons to do the right thing. That's how many tickets LSU fans have bought, not even knowing if they're going to the game. Guys, if USC wins today, there's really not a whole lot of drama in the BCS, I don't think. I think you've got LSU and Michigan in the Rose. I think you've got the SEC champ and Notre Dame in the Sugar. In the orange, it's going to be the ACC champ and the Big East champ. And over in the Fiesta Bowl, it's going to be the Big 12 champ against Boise State. The only thing that could change is if USC loses, then USC goes to the Rose Bowl and plays LSU. Michigan goes to the BCS champion.
By the way,
I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of drama today.
By the way, that would be the first time an SEC team has gone to Pasadena since 1946. Now, the coaching carousel was set in motion weeks ago, and schools have been scrambling to fill vacancies before the recruiting season gets underway. Right now, 4 programs have found replacements, highlighted by Butch Davis at North Carolina, but there are still, fellas, 7 vacancies on the Division 1A level, one resulting from the firing of Mike Shula at Alabama. Tony, what are your thoughts on the Alabama situation right now?
Well, first of all, number one on their list was Steve Spurrier, but Steve Spurrier told his team this week, hey, guys, you're stuck with me. And today we found out that was right. New contract for Steve Spurrier through 2012. Bump him up to about $1.75 million.
Hello.
Where does Alabama go now? We're hearing that if Rich Rodriguez gets a phone call, he's going to listen. Keep your eye on Rich Rodriguez after tonight's game with Rutgers.
Guys, I got to tell you, both of you, if I'm Rich Rodriguez, I'm not so sure I'm going to risk my resume on a program where there's so many outside forces that are going to determine your fate. You want to win games. You know coaches are control freaks by nature. You want to determine that in between the white lines and not outside of it.
All right, Tony, with Miami, are all signs still pointing towards Greg Schiano or bust?
I don't think there's any question about it, Tim. They're going to make Greg Schiano say no. And he can't say anything until after they play West Virginia tonight. If Schiano says no, you keep hearing that, that the Wisconsin AD is going to be the backup guy. And you know what? I don't think they've got a plan B if Barry Alvarez says no.
Listen, there's a reoccurring theme here, guys. Another program, a young program versus a historic program. Right now, I think the Rutgers situation, because of what's happened in Miami, lack of facilities, lack of funds to offer that coach, I think Greg Schiano's job is more attractive, yes, than even Miami.
Miami may be hanging on to Randy Shannon longer than they really anticipated. There's also Tulane, which fired Chris Selfo. And Tony, what I think is one of the most heinous firings I've seen in intercollegiate athletics in the last 20 years. After all he went through, he could have bailed after Katrina. He was a vagabond. Your thoughts on that firing and who's really a candidate for that job?
Well, that job is wide open. I just want to reiterate what you said. I've known Chris Selfo for a long time. I know what he went through last year with Hurricane Katrina, and to let him go a year after that, absolutely unconscionable.
This is nothing personal, guys. I got to disagree with both of you on this one. You got to look at the total body of work. 8 years there. Only one of those 2 winning seasons during that span, only one of those happened under Katrina. So, again, you got to throw that out the window. Look at his total body of work. 8 years, just 2 winning seasons.
All right. Thanks, Tony. I really enjoyed our conversation. And thanks for watching the Geico Halftime Report. Coming up, the second half of Army-Navy. Enjoy the rest of the game.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico.com. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Why does that bother you?
Why does it bother me? So easy a caveman can do it?
Well, it's just a commercial.
Okay. Well, what if it said Geico.com, so easy a therapist can do it?
Well, that commercial wouldn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Well, therapists
are what? Smart? My mother's calling. I'll put it on speaker.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Tonight, try our new fresh jumbo lump crab cake. Then enjoy our new premium age prime sirloin. Too juicy for words. Uncompromising quality, incredible freshness. Yours always, Ruby Tuesday.
What is it you want, Mary? You want the moon? Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
Kay always has the latest Bulova styles, so you can be assured that you'll absolutely love it.
Why don't you kiss her instead of talking at her, dear?
Every kiss begins with K.
Between my two phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably $100 a month.
With Vonage, you get unlimited calls to anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, and all the cool features you could ever want are included. And it's just $24.99 a month.
Call 1-800-989-4VON.
Plus, get 1 month free. Vonage, leading the internet phone revolution.
More people spend time planning for vacation than planning for retirement. Get ready to live the life you've been planning with The Hartford. Because you're not preparing to retire, you're preparing to live. To live your future the way you've always seen it. So see your advisor about the latest products and solutions from The Hartford. And prepare to live.
The U.S. Army Reserve takes a different kind of strength.
The strength to help people one day and lead people the next.
The strength to build confidence one day and build knowledge the next.
The strength to improve your country one day and your career the next.
The strength to be both a citizen and a soldier in the U.S. Army Reserve.
There's strong, and then there's Army Strong. Find out more about the Army Reserve at GoArmyReserve.com.
Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
Welcome aboard the International Space Station. I'm Colonel Jeff Williams, West Point class of 1980.
And I'm Captain Michael Lopez Alegria, Annapolis class of 1980. We decided we're going to solve this Army-Navy thing once and for all by arm wrestling.
Go Army, beat Navy.
Go Navy, beat Army.
This rivalry extends to places that you can't even imagine. Army and Navy are tied at 7 at the break. We'll come back. Second half action live from Philadelphia here on CBS.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans.
Guess who just got back today?
Built comfortable.
Boys that had been away.
Built strong.
Change had much to say.
Built right.
Think them cats are great. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Welcome back to the much-anticipated matchup between the Eagles and the Bulldogs. The Eagles to receive. Let's go down to the field and get a real quick report from Meg Shipley. Meg?
The Eagles are hoping their potent offense can penetrate the Bulldogs' number 3 ranked defense. Now, I believe we're seeing some parachutes coming down. Mike, are you seeing this from up there?
Absolutely, Meg, and I have no explanation for what's going on right now, but cows are parachuting onto the field. I'm not sure if this is some kind of a protest stunt or something. 2 cows have landed on the field now. Now there's a 3rd cow headed for the stands. It's actually headed right towards a burger. Look out! Oh, my. The burger vendor is down. That's going on the highlight reel.
Be one of the first million people to register at freebreakfastnow.com and get a coupon for a free Chick-fil-A breakfast entree.
Got it. The Beats had some cataracts. The sheep don't like it. Lock the cash box.
Is he saying stop the cat box?
Stop the cat box.
You don't have to understand your music to understand how to get it all from your PC to your phone. Only Singular lets you take ripped, purchased, and even subscription music on the new Singular Sync. Only $49.99.
Stop the cat box.
Singular, raising the bar.
Introducing new Dr. Pepper Berries and Cream. So rich, so creamy, with a hint of raspberries. Once the creamy taste gets a hold of you, you won't want to let go. Get your hands on new Dr. Pepper Berries and Cream and get buried in cream.
Trust. It's everything. Nobody hands out trust. Talent is one thing. Combine talent with people you trust, and you will walk on that court with a level of respect no one can match.
The Hartford, a company built on 195 years of trust. Ask your advisor what The Hartford can do to help you plan for your future. Because you're not preparing to retire. You're preparing to live.
The United States Naval Academy develops young men and women morally, mentally, and physically to become officers and combat leaders of character for the Navy and Marine Corps. Start your journey at the United States Naval Academy.
The spectacle that is Army-Navy just about set for second half action. Let's head to the field and Sam Ryan.
All right, Ian, thanks a lot. And Bobby, got to be happy with the tie game coming back from the half. What'd you tell them inside?
Well, we just got to keep playing the way we were. We lost an opportunity right there before the half when we recovered the fumble and we gave it right back to them. But I'm pleased with the way we're playing. Got to be a little bit more in our special teams. Got to get more out of them and expect them more there. Offensively, got to do a little bit better job on first down.
Thanks a lot, Bobby. Ian?
Thank you.
All right, Sam, thanks very much. And Bobby Ross's team is in the game. They're competing with Navy, which has not been the case in recent years.
Well, they've simplified everything from offense to defense. They've really attacked well defensively. Only a couple breakdowns there. As we take a look at some of the highlights, it started off in the beginning poorly for Navy as they lose one of their best players, Adam Ballard, on his first carry of the day right here. Breaks his lower right leg, and he's obviously out for the game, and there he is, and heart and soul of the Navy offense, especially since Brian Hampton is out. But how about a little trickery right here, a double reverse. Watch number 10. He's the quarterback, Carson Williams, a freshman. A key block right there, and it gives Trimble enough time to get in there and dive into the end zone. And then here comes Reggie Campbell. Kaipo reads the defense correctly. Nice touchdown run there. That was the first time that I could remember that Army was not there to defend the option. So look for Paul Johnson to go back to the basics, get Kaipo back running the football, don't attempt so many passes, and look for Army to do much the same as they've done in the first half.
Our enterprise halftime stats, rushing yards as you would expect for Navy. No passing yards for the midshipmen. Time of possession in favor of Navy. First down, 9 of them, but that one turnover, Army does not make the major mistake in the first half. Today's game is brought to you in high definition television. Ian Eagle, Boomer Esiason, and Sam Ryan, the rest of our CBS crew. Second half action, Army-Navy, the 107th edition. Matt Harmon will kick it off for Navy. Corey Anderson is the deep man for Army as we get ready to start this second half.
And Bobby Ross told Sam Ryan about that unfortunate instance where they could have made something happen after recovering the Navy fumble. But now Carson Williams, a freshman's got to calm down. He had 2 bad plays in a row. Let's see how he comes out of the locker room here to start the second half and see if he gets himself back into this game.
Harmon on the kick, and Anderson will field it from the 2. Up the middle, and that hole closes up in a hurry as a flag comes flying in. Anderson short of the 20-yard line. Matt Humiston on special teams making the play for Navy.
This usually indicates holding or an illegal block in the back somewhere. There it is on Army, and this is one thing that Army has stayed away from also is poor field position.
Yep. And they've pinned Navy back on 2 occasions inside the 10.
46 on the receiving team. Half the distance of the goal. First down.
So the penalty works against Bobby Ross's team. His 3rd year as the head coach in West Point. 9-24 at Army. 103 wins overall as a college head coach. Of course, a successful run in the pros with San Diego and Detroit, trying to restore pride in this program. McMahon. And David Mahoney, first man there. No gain on the play as Mahoney is doing a little talking of his own after the stop and a penalty marker thrown. Back-to-back penalties against the Black Knights.
If I'm Paul Johnson here, I decline this penalty.
Holding on the offense. Number 72. Penalty is declined. Second down.
And your instinct is correct. Mike Feedy, he was the go-to guy on the ground in the first half, and a couple of catches as well.
Well, we talked about it. He only had 40 carries coming into today, but we knew from talking to the coaches it was going to be a lot of Mike Feedy thus far. 7 carries in the first half, 2 catches, so he has been an integral part of this offense and must remain so as long as Army keeps this game close.
On second down, Feedy sticks his helmet down and surges ahead for a gain of 7. Clint Sovey making that stop from the linebacker position, the sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida.
Remember, Brian, we were talking about why would Army want to utilize a underutilized fullback in their offense? Well, that's because coming into this game, they were so turnover prone that coaches tend to go back to those fundamentals. Give it to the big guy, just let him run with the football, and let's try to keep this game close. And that's exactly what they've done thus far today. Right here, you can see Carson Williams reading the defense and calling the play at the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Feedy. And can't get to the line. A gain of 1 for Feedy as Jeremy Miles came shooting through. Had 3 track state high school championships coming out of New Jersey. The freshman.
And that's exactly what Navy needed from a defensive perspective. Go out, 3 and out, gain field position, and that's exactly what they're going to get here, assuming no fake punt or no turnover on the punt return.
I'm going to predict no fake punt.
Okay.
You with me?
I'm with you on this one.
Owen Tolson will punt it. And Jason Tomlinson standing at midfield. Navy should have excellent field position here. Tolson with the boot, averaging just over 42 yards per kick. And here's Tomlinson. He's got a blocker trying to cut it to the outside, and Army able to get down the field in pursuit. And a 5-yard return for Tomlinson. Kevin Apoku making the stop, the junior from Houston, Texas. 42-yard punt. We remain tied at 7, third quarter action.
The totally new Jeep Compass with fold-flat passenger seats and a removable load floor. There's no end to the cool stuff you can take along for the ride. Jeep Compass. It's freedom in a whole new dimension.
I've always wanted a farm, like my grandparents used to have, with a stable, you know, for the horses. A place where everyone can get together. Kids, grandkids, all my cousins, the whole family. And then pass it on to all the generations that come after me.
You once made a promise to yourself about your future. At John Hancock, we have the products you need to help build, protect, and sustain the future you've always wanted. John Hancock, the future is yours.
When I signed up for Vonage, I was able to keep my phone number, and then when I moved, I was able to take it with me.
Call quality is the utmost. It projects my business. And with Vonage, it's perfect.
Vonage and reliability, that just kind of goes hand in hand.
It's just $24.99 a month for unlimited local and long-distance calling. Vonage is a better way to phone for less.
Get 1 month free. Call 1-800-989-4VON or visit one of these fine retailers.
Visit CBSSportsStore.com for the 12 deals of Christmas and save on different items each day. For him, for her, even for the kids. Only at CBSSportsStore.com.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Jeep, the official vehicle of the 107th Army-Navy game. Tied at 7, Army-Navy here in the third quarter, 12:46 to play. Time for our Aflac trivia question today. Who's the only coach in Navy history to win his first 5 games against Army?
Good question.
We'll have the answer coming up.
Well, now expect Kaipo to do a heavy dose of the option, a lot of the fullback stuff. This is going back to fundamentals for Paul Johnson on offense. You heard him tell our Sam Ryan at halftime that it felt like his quarterback missed a few reads and had a few problems. He did fumble the football, so back to fundamentals now if you're Navy on offense.
Kaipo took over for Brian Hampton, the senior QB, had a season-ending knee injury against Rutgers, had surgery 5 weeks ago. And up the middle, Katani, who has stepped in for the normal starter, Adam Ballard. Leg injury in the first quarter. That's a 5-yard gain for Katani. Ballard, the leading rusher this season for Navy. And now Katani heading off.
It looks like he has a problem with his helmet.
And Matt Hall has stepped in. Hall was the starter until a knee injury last year. The senior getting an opportunity, breaks a tackle, and forcing his way forward for the first down. Rugged runner up the middle as we take a look at what this Navy offense has done the last 3 games. At Duke, at Eastern Michigan, against Temple, 38 points, 49 points, and 42 points respectively with huge rushing numbers.
You know, I think Army looked at that and said, you know, we're just as good as those 3 teams, and I think we're going to do a better job of holding them down. And a lot of that is due in large part to the fact that Brian Hampton's not playing. Let's face it, Brian Hampton was the senior quarterback that was supposed to have the great senior year, and he was just going to step in there for Lamar Owens, and he was going to make some plays. And now all of a sudden it falls to Kaipo, and Kaipo has got to make plays, and he can't make mistakes. And I think already indications show me that Paul Johnson's going right back to the basics.
Hampton in uniform today. When we spoke to Kaipo about that relationship, he said, look, I was in shock when Hampton went down. He's like a brother to me. And that's the last thing I wanted to happen, even if it meant a chance to go out there and play. A 2-yard gain as Matt Hall gets the call. Cameron Craig in on that stop for Army. Hampton was having an excellent season. 646 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns until his season came to a halt against Rutgers.
You know, not only did it come to a halt against Rutgers, but the whole Navy team came to a halt against Rutgers. And Rutgers got a great program, there's no question about it, but when you lose your star player, it takes a lot out of you.
First man through. And Katani has returned. They've taken care of that helmet problem. 6-yard gain for Eric Katani.
Well, now all of a sudden it's going to be heavy doses of fullback. And sooner or later, Kaipo is going to pull that ball out, and he's going to come around the corner. And you have got to watch out for him, and you got to watch out for one of these slot backs. So it's going to be imperative that the Army defenders continue to stay and read their keys and trust each other and not do something that they're not required to do to leave a big open hole.
On 3rd and 2. That's a battle right at the line where we'll see where the spot is. Charlie Rockwood, he didn't get it. Eric Katani needed a couple yards, and it looks like he's about a half a yard, almost a yard short.
And watch this collision between Charlie Rockwood and Katani, and that's a terrific play by the defense of the Army right there at the point of attack, and you knew that Paul Johnson was going to go for this. This is 4-down territory right here as far as Navy is concerned.
They send Katani into the game at fullback. He's the lone setback on a 4th and 1. And with the clock winding down, they take a timeout. Navy, a 4th and 1 in Army territory when we come back.
Hi, honey. We're here to help you decorate.
Sorry, guys. I went to the Home Depot. Oh, no, she's the decorator. Come on, Warren.
Introducing Holiday Home Accents from the Home Depot. An exclusive new line of decorations and accessories to help fill your home with holiday cheer. Holiday Home Accents, only at the Home Depot.
So, tell me in your own words a little bit about Geico.
Well, it's one-stop shopping, really, Geico.com. You can get a free rate quote, you could compare coverage options, you could file a claim, pay your bill online, even, you know, have a little chat with an associate if you need help.
What about you? Can they chat with you?
I'm here for Geico, love. Let's not delve into my personal life, eh?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Does it really take two to tango?
Tangoing by yourself is like having our roasted lobster tail without a tender flows fillet. You could do it, but why?
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Class of '94. Here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
The top teams in the country's toughest conference collide. 8th-ranked Arkansas battles 4th-ranked Florida for the SEC Championship. Next on CBS.
Tomorrow on CBS, a cop's secret will cost him everything. Don't miss a brand new episode of Cold Case. That's tomorrow on CBS. 4th and 1 for Navy. When you lead the nation in rushing and you face a 4th and 1 in your opponent's territory,
you go for it.
You go for it.
I was saying to you off air that this is a great opportunity for Navy to do one of those little fake the fullback, fake the option, and throw it down the field, because Army has done such a good job of kind of bottling up the running game of Navy. A play action pass in this situation would be a gutsy call.
Now, Paul Johnson, head coach, and he calls the plays for this Navy offense. This is a 4th and 1. Campbell's in there, Shun White and Katani. And we know Kaipo's a weapon as well. They need a yard. It'll be Kaipo, and he's got it.
Just barely. And again, you know, I think this kind of shows. Looks like they're happy over in Kuwait. At least the Navy fans are happy. But I would say this again, another indication that Paul Johnson is just trying to slow the game down a little bit for his quarterback, is calling those basic plays like that right there, and smart coaching by Coach Johnson.
It's a big moment for Kaipo, only a sophomore. He was not in the plans this year to play quarterback. Kaipo, he is devoured. Great combination there as Cameron Craig read it and made the stop on Kaipo.
Again, Ian, very simple defense by the Army, especially at defensive line. A good job by Cameron Craig of pushing down and then kind of recognizing that the fullback does not have the football and then reacting in good pursuit from the backside. Terrific pursuit.
Kaipo Noah Kayaku Inada from Kapolei, Hawaii. Kaipo, the toss. Tomlinson's got some room in front of him. Tomlinson down the sideline. He's in. Touchdown, Navy.
Misdirection against the defense that is over pursuing and really doing a great job at the point of attack. But as Paul Johnson was telling us this week, he has to get a sense of how a defense is playing him, and he sees that Army is overplaying everything and calls the reverse. A terrific play call by Paul Johnson. Nice execution by the Navy offense and an Army defense that was over-aggressive.
The dependable senior from Arlington, Texas, Jason Tomlinson.
And you can see in that cadet's face right there, he's like, oh, I can feel it coming. I can feel like Navy's coming again, you know, and that's kind of the frustration that you have when you're playing against Navy. Sooner or later, you know it's going to happen as we wait now for a replay as to whether or not that was a touchdown. Take a look at this. Look at all the white shirts going to the left, and here comes a reverse back the other way. And I mean, it's just perfectly executed, perfectly blocked. And the question is this a touchdown? Oh, yeah.
Clear touchdown for Tomlinson. Touchdown Tomlinson has a ring to it, no?
Sure does. Hear that a lot on Sunday and Monday nights, don't we?
Another look at it for Tomlinson. You're right. Against the grain as Army was leaning on that short side.
Well, one of the reasons they have been so good on defense stopping the run is because of the backside pursuit. This is clearly a touchdown, as you can see right there, but the backside pursuit has been making the key plays.
After review, video confirms the call on the field. Touchdown.
So Navy fans got a chance to celebrate twice.
Right, exactly. So Paul Johnson sees that, and a good play caller recognizes the deficiencies or how you can play and use the aggressiveness of the opponent's defense against them, and that's exactly what he did there.
Tomlinson, who added 15 pounds to his frame, now 6'1", 208. Matt Harmon on. Extra point is good, and Navy has a 14-7 lead on Army. 8:49 to go in this third quarter. Jason Tomlinson caps off an 8-play, 52-yard drive for the Naval Academy. The Mids lead it over the Cadets, 14-7.
Extra, extra! Papa John's Superman Pan Pizza is here!
It's big news. Papa John's Superman Pan Pizza, piled high with the works. 7 tasty toppings. Call now or order online and get a large Superman Pan Pizza for $12.99. $12.99, including a $3 coupon for Superman Returns on DVD.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And I don't even have that insurance.
What insurance, Santa?
The one that pays you cash if you're hurt and can't work.
Huh?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Can you just send out the toys?
There's strong, and then there's Army strong. It's more than physical strength. It is emotional strength. Not just strength in numbers, the strength of brothers. Not just the strength to get yourself over, the strength to get over yourself. There's nothing stronger than the U.S. Army, because there is nothing stronger than a U.S. Army soldier. There's strong, and then there's Army strong. Visit GoArmy.com/strong.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by the U.S. Army, Papa John's, Verizon Wireless, and Aflac. Navy has jumped out in front of Army 14-7, 8:49 to play in the third quarter. Let's take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
Take a look at this right here. 4th and 1. Kaipo, the quarterback, follows the fullback right in there. Key first down. Over pursuing defense, a little reverse. Around comes Jason Tomlinson for the touchdown. Puts Navy ahead 14-7. Great job by Paul Johnson recognizing the aggressiveness of the Army defense.
So let's see how Army responds now.
And this half has not started the way that you would have wanted if you were Army, because remember on the previous kickoff there was a penalty and they lost field position. Then the punt comes back, and then there's a great field position for Navy, which ultimately leads to that very impressive drive down there for that touchdown.
Matt Harmon will kick it off. Corey Anderson averaging 23 yards a return with a long of 47. Will do the honors for Army. Up the middle and brought down quickly as he crossed the 20-yard line. A 19-yard return. 14-7. Navy has the lead on Army. More third quarter action coming up.
I've been really good this year
has one of those amazing phones?
Well, Timmy, do you mean VCast phones?
The NV plays VCast video, and its full keyboard makes it great for texting.
And the mint chocolate's perfect for music lovers. It's got an MP3 player.
You know I'm working here.
Only Verizon Wireless has the gifts you want, like the hottest LG VCast phones. Now get these two fully loaded phones for just $49.99. Happy holidays from the network.
I'm Dallin Hart Jr. Welcome to Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away. Haven't changed, had much to say.
New fits.
But man, I still think them cats.
New comfort. New styles. Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler. New fits, new comfort, new styles.
The world's most capable Wranglers, now available with 2 and 4 doors. A new species from Jeep.
12 minutes to do something right.
The missions more dangerous, the sacrifices even greater. The Unit, Tuesday after NCIS.
From Naval Air Facility at Sugi, Japan.
Go Navy, beat Army, see?
I don't think anybody gets a bigger kick out of those spirit messages than Boomer Esiason.
I do. It's great.
All right, let's wrap up our Aflac trivia question. Who's the only coach in Navy history to win his first 5 games against Army? Wayne Hardin did it between 1959 and 1963. Paul Johnson has a chance to match that mark with a victory here. George Welsh won his first 4. Starting with Navy back in 1973. What a turnaround this program has undergone under Paul Johnson. 5th year as the head coach. 36th head coach overall at the Naval Academy. Mike Vitti trying to find an opening along that perimeter. 3-yard gain. David Wright, first guy to touch him up. The senior from Millis, Massachusetts.
You know, this is the point of the game now where Carson Williams has just got to stay with the game plan. No reason to get crazy, and you certainly don't want to make a mistake here, but this is a little bit different level of stress now that we're in the second half. Navy comes down and moves the ball right down the field. So very important for the Army offense at least to control the football, to give their defense a chance to collect their collective breath.
First time Army has trailed here today. So a new perspective for the Black Knights. Tony Moore. Up the gut, 4-yard gain. Rob Caldwell. Time for an update to New York and Tim Brando.
How about this, Ian? For the second time ever, Wake Forest wins a conference title. Sam Swank, a 22-yarder. Then they would kick the ball off. Georgia Tech was 3 and out. Wake got the ball back, ran out the clock for the final 2 minutes. If Rutgers win, this sets up an Orange Bowl matchup possibly between Wake and Rutgers. Boomer and Ian, who would wear the glass slipper in that matchup?
Congratulations to Wake Forest. That's not the Wake Forest I remember when I was at Maryland, I can tell you that.
That's a breakthrough season for that football program.
Tremendous job.
Tony Moore looking for a lane, and Moore has got enough for the first down.
And that is a tremendous run by Moore, as he was not to be denied. And Bobby Ross came out here and said, listen, we're going to run the football. We're not going to be playing games trying to throw it. We can physically go after these guys, and watch Moore. He is not going to be denied. Watch him keep his legs churning, and he gets the first down, a key first down for Army at this point. And a nice block right there by by Justin Larson.
So Moore and Vitti in the backfield with under 7 minutes to go now in the 3rd quarter. Toss is to Moore. And he was tripped up. Looked like he was going to break free of David Mahoney, but just got enough of him to slow him down. David Wright finished him off, a loss of 1. And Wright is down on the play. He's been a run stuffer in this 3-4 defensive alignment.
And you know where that play was made? That play was made in the backfield by Tyler Tidwell as he and Mike Beatty just came blow to blow behind the line of scrimmage. But because of that collision, Moore wasn't able to get outside. So a good job by Tyler Tidwell keeping his leverage and forcing Moore back inside.
2nd and 11 now for Army. Vitti by himself. Williams checking off on 2nd and long. It's Vitti and nothing there. Able to pick up 2 yards. Ty Adams, the senior from Blackfoot, Idaho, former outside linebacker, making the play on the D-line. Monday on The Late Show, don't miss Rosie O'Donnell. Plus, Dave blows up a 1,000-pound pumpkin. And on Thursday, Dave's got Borat. It's coming up next week.
A 1,000-pound pumpkin, huh?
Yeah. You'll be tuning in.
Where do they come up with that stuff?
They have writers.
I'm sure they do.
3rd and 9. 14-7, Navy leading Army. 5:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Closest this game has been in 5 years. Williams hung up there. And Trimble's got it for Army. First down, Black Knights.
Now this is what you call a break here for Army. This is a huge play for them to stay on the football field and keep the Navy offense off the field. Trimble does a good job of just focusing in on the football, but as the ball is batted up in the air at the line of scrimmage. So a nice break for Army. They need to make yards on first down. This team is not very good in 3rd and long situations, so these are the key downs right here.
Williams now 7 of 9 throwing the football. 41 yards, no interceptions. New set of downs, handoff. Tony Moore unable to emerge from that crowd. It's a 2-yard gain as he gets stacked up. Lots of blue jerseys in the area, including Rob Caldwell, senior from St. John, Indiana. Will be heading to the Marine Corps Ground Unit, a boisterous inside linebacker for the Naval Academy.
Well, he's the talker, no question about that. And I'll tell you, he's the leader, too. Most inside linebackers are of a defense, and he's the heart and soul of this one.
Co-captain of this Navy team. On 2nd and down, Williams bounces off the chest of Corey Anderson.
Pretty impressive throw right here by Williams, but I think David Mahoney kind of distracted the wide receiver there. That's the 2nd Army drop of the day.
Anderson, junior from Tampa, Florida, was a high school track star. Had a chance to make a big play and keep this drive going. Instead, Army faces a 3rd and 8. 3 receivers set for Williams and the Black Knights. Williams sets up, throws, diving grab, Walter Hill. And they'll move the chains into Navy territory.
Now that's the kind of catch you have to make for a freshman quarterback, but more importantly, the protection of the offensive line, perfect. Watch Williams, he makes a phantom fake to nobody. That's a little freshman mistake, but nice throw right down the middle of the field in between the linebackers. Look how he keeps it low. Look at the nose of that football. That gives Trimble a chance to stay down and not take a blow.
Walter Hill, who lost his mom Barbara to cancer last year, wears a t-shirt with her picture on it under his uniform every game. Tony Moore. And rumbling his way inside the 30-yard line. That's a 6-yard pickup for Army. Larry Silk has stepped in for David Wright, who left earlier. Silk is a senior playing that nose tackle position out of Delaware.
9 is a very impressive drive here for Army. 10 plays thus far, 50 yards, and they're holding on to the football 5 minutes and 4 seconds. So
down to 3:32 and counting in this 3rd quarter. Navy has a touchdown lead. Vitti. First down for Army inside the 20.
we can hear the Corps cadets right here because the ball is right in front of the Corps right now. They're all screaming V for Vitti, and We talked about it early in the game that it was going to be important for Viti to take control of this football game. And when you can run the ball like this, again, keep the clock running and keep the Navy offense on the sideline. This is exactly what Bobby Ross expected coming into this game.
10-yard gain for Viti. Very impressive leg drive, not only from Viti, but from all the running backs that we've seen here. 12 carries, 56 yards for the fullback from Berwick, Pennsylvania. On first down, Williams out of the pocket, throwing underneath, and Tony Moore gets tackled very quickly.
Well, that was a screen pass that did not develop quickly enough, as Moore kind of got caught up in the pass rush and then had a leak out late.
Irv Spencer over there. Keenan Little also ranging over to make the play. 2nd and 9 for Army.
We were talking to Buddy Green, the defensive coordinator, about Keenan Little. He said, you know, this is like our first real star that we had here that had committed to us. And, well, I'll tell you what, he has been a really, really solid player for Buddy Green's defense at Navy.
He had legitimate Division I offers from Wake Forest and Clemson. Decided to go to the Naval Academy. Viti pushing forward, but Rob Caldwell pushes him the other way. It's a gain of 1 for Mike Viti.
So we had a chance to meet both of these guys this week, and you see them collide. They're both intense football players. This is what they live for. This is what they love, to meet in the hole just like that. That's exactly what an inside linebacker is supposed to look like when he's tackling a ball carrier, and that's exactly what a ball carrier should look like when he is trying to get away from a linebacker like that. So it's great to see those guys hit like that after meeting them this week.
3rd and 8. Rob Caldwell didn't like it at the Naval Academy his freshman year. Thought about leaving and going to play for Indiana. His parents told him, that's okay with us. You got to find a way to pay for it. He came back to Navy. Williams broken up. Corey Anderson, the intended receiver, and Irv Spencer, the linebacker, drawing the assignment. It's 4th down for Army.
This is great coverage right here. And this is a zone coverage, and this is just basically playing man within your zone. So Spencer does a good job of being right there. Williams threw a nice ball, but now Army has to attempt the field goal.
Austin Miller. He is 12 of 16 on field goal attempts with a long of 47. Andrew Reinhardt will hold it. Matt Wisner, the snapper. 34-yard attempt, trying to cut into the Navy lead. Miller missed it to the left. Adam Ballard cheering on his teammates from the sideline, the fullback who was lost early in this game. And Navy maintains its 14-7 edge. Austin Miller, who missed all of 2005 with a leg injury. Both of his grandfathers served in the military. And Miller off the mark. Paul Johnson and the Navy midshipmen still in front, 14-7.
When I see Paul Johnson, I see a frustrated coach wondering why his defense can't slow down this Army offense. But again, here comes Kaipo. Look for a lot of this.
Kaipo looking to throw. He's got the protection. Throwing the deep ball one-on-one. And it's incomplete. Reggie Campbell in a matchup with John Laird.
Navy right there on the sideline. They all want an interference call, as does Kaipo from the backfield. But again, a little surprising that they decided to come out and throw on first down, especially with all the success that they had on the previous series. Kaipo is 0 for 4 right now throwing the football, but he's actually dropped back to throw the football at least 4 other times where he took off running in reaction to the pass rush. So not having a great day passing the football.
2nd and 10. Matt Hall gets a carry. And hauled for a yard and a half. Tony Fusco, junior from Watertown, Connecticut, and John Wright, another junior from Hoover, Alabama, collaborating on the stop.
And we were talking to Antron Harper. He's the right guard for Navy. He was telling us how he would love to play more games against guys like Fusco, because Fusco's a straight ahead guy. He's not trying to, move away from the contact. He's a high contact guy, and Harper right there is just like that. I mean, so it's a tremendous battle going on the interior line of these two players.
How about Harper's Thanksgiving? Had the team meal at noon, had another dinner at his sponsor's house, then went to an assistant coach's house for another meal and had 3 different desserts. Complete. Tomlinson along the sideline. It's a first down, and Kaipo has his first connection of the day.
Well, you know what? He had plenty of room here. He steps into the throw very well. He reads the defense. Look at that right there. Wide open wide receiver. Nice read by Kaipo, and good blocking by the offensive line. It doesn't surprise me that offensive linemen would have 3 Thanksgiving dinners.
Yeah, fair point.
Used to take my guys. That just cost me $1,000 every time I took them out to eat.
Hey, it's expensive being a quarterback.
Because eat a lot.
Up the gut, Matt Hall. So Hall seeing extended action for a pickup of 5, the one-time starter at the fullback position out of Cape Coral, Florida. End of the third quarter, 14-7 Navy leading Army. The Home Depot College Football on CBS continues after this message and a word from your local station.
You love our burgers, and that's just the beginning. Introducing our premium age prime sirloin, cut from the best of the best beef.
Prime is what a steak lover lives for.
Almost too tender for a knife, too juicy for words. And try our new fresh jumbo lump crab cake. All jumbo lump meat, nearly no cake. Uncompromising quality, incredible freshness. Yours always, Ruby Tuesday.
And I don't even have that insurance.
What insurance, Santa?
The one that pays you cash if you're hurt and can't work.
Huh?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Can you just send out the toys?
He's changed the way millions of Americans watch movies.
And it was like, I wonder why no one's done that before.
Without ever leaving home. 60 Minutes tomorrow.
James Woods stars in Shark, CBS Thursdays.
Now at Morris Home Furnishings, all you need is $1. That's right, for just one single dollar down, you can buy all the furniture, mattresses, accessories, and HD TV you want from the area's best selection of great brand names. Then make no monthly payments and pay no interest until 2008 with no minimum purchase. You'll get great savings store-wide, plus pay nothing until 2008 with only $1 down. Now at Morris Home Furnishings.
10 exciting showrooms, 1 great store.
You always pay less at Rex. Get 10% off all merchandise during Rex's Coupon Mania event. Now until December 2nd. Get 10% off our already guaranteed low prices on every item in every department. This 50-inch Panasonic Plasma TV was $27.77, but is now only $24.99. This 32-inch Westinghouse LCD TV was $8.88, but is now only $7.99. Look for the ad in the Dayton Daily News and bring in the coupons for fantastic savings. You always pay less at Rex since 1926. Brighten your holidays with WHIO TV's Jingle Bell Sweepstakes. 3 great prizes, 1 easy way to enter. Just call 1-866-29-GIFTS. Win $500 in cash from IGS Energy, your natural gas choice. Call 1-866-29-GIFTS. Look for details in your November Hometown Values magazine. Deadline to enter is midnight December 31st. Winners will be announced during News Center 7 at 6 starting January 3rd. Hurry and enter WHIO TV's Jingle Bell Sweepstakes today.
Catch the NFL on WHIO TV.
Army, Navy.
Yes, sir. Go Army! Go Navy! One team, one fight!
14-7 Navy leading Army. Back here in the broadcast booth, Ian Eagle along with Boomer Esiason. 11th consecutive year CBS Sports has brought you Army Navy. We're proud to be a part of the coverage once again, Boomer. Army had a great opportunity there after the Navy touchdown, a chance to come right back. Missing a field goal, though, and now Navy has that chance to maybe grab a stranglehold on this game.
Football is a game of momentum and opportunities, and I think Army lost an opportunity there, and Navy has gained a momentum coming out of the locker room. And Paul Johnson probably got to his players and said, listen, I'm not happy the way we played this first half. We're going to go back to basics, and that's exactly what they've done.
Another full house here at Lincoln Financial Field. The March-Ons, always a sight to behold. Next year, this game will be in Baltimore, M&T Bank Stadium.
Another great facility, I might add, as Philadelphia loves this Army-Navy game, and they do a great job here at this stadium. And I know the people down in Baltimore, as I was there this week when I was visiting Annapolis, are very excited about having Army-Navy there next year, and I know we're looking forward to it as well.
Matt Hall picking up 2 yards to the Navy 40-yard line as we are just underway here in the fourth quarter. Ian Eagle, Boomer Esiason, Sam Ryan, and our CBS broadcast team on hand. A 3rd and 3 for the Mids. It's Hall. Breaking a tackle, and he should have enough. We'll see where they spot it. Rockwood and Scruggs. And he is going to get it.
Well, I don't know about that. This is really close. And
well, that initial spot looks strong. And this will mean more time off the clock, obviously, if they get the first down. And a chance to put Army in a deeper hole.
It is going to be a first down. Good call, Ian.
Don't forget, later in the game today, the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler.
And remember, with the exception of the reverse, there really hasn't been an explosive play by Navy thus far this game. And that's one of the reasons that Army has stayed in the game. They have played good defense. They just have to be careful not to give up that huge play.
Brian Hampton is as close to being in the football game as he can be without actually being in. Shun White. With a head of steam, White, a spin move, and he picks up 6 yards. College football update to New York. Tim Brando.
Ian and Boomer, we take care of all of the armed services here. It's the Air Force. They've been grounded by TCU today. Watch Jeffrey Ballard hitting Quinley Harmon and a little Reggie Bush push into the end zone. It's 24-0 at the break. Of course, as you guys know, Navy still controls the Commander-in-Chief's trophy.
Great individual effort there. Army with a win would look for a share of the Commander-in-Chief trophy. First time since '96. Matt Hall. And pushed backwards. Eugenie initially making the play. And then Barrett Scruggs finishing it off. That's a freshman and a senior combining.
How many times have you mentioned Eugenie today? He's had a couple big plays, and it kind of points to the future of Army. They have a number of good freshman players on this team, including Carson Williams, their cornerback. So the future from a player standpoint looks pretty good at this point.
Victor Eugenie from Atlanta, Georgia. North Springs High School had a 2.5-hour drive to get to his high school. His parents felt very strongly about him getting the strong education and moving on to West Point to further his future. Timeout.
Over 50 million people have made NCIS one of TV's biggest hits.
Why was I not told about this operation?
I don't sit on the sidelines when my people are in trouble. NCIS Tuesday.
When you take that field today, you've got to lay your heart on the line. And if you do that, we cannot lose. The plane crash is our past. We cannot forget that. We're not honoring them. We're disgracing them. This is where we have come from. This is how we got here. This is who we are today. We are.
We Are Marshall. Rated PG. Starts Friday, December 22nd.
It's time for our Geico scoring recap.
107th all-time meeting, Army-Navy. Army got the scoring going. Jeremy Trimble, a 41-yard touchdown run to give the Black Knights a 7-0 lead. But you knew Navy would come back. Midshipman, best running attack in college football, and that was Reggie Campbell with a touchdown. Navy taking the lead in the second half behind Jason Tomlinson's 33-yard touchdown rip. And that's where we stand, 14-7. Missed field goal by Austin Miller could have closed the gap for Army. But Navy maintains the 7-point lead, 12:34 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And yet another pivotal third down play here for Navy. You would think, because they have the best rushing offense in football. And by the way, coming into the game, Army was 115th in rushing defense out of 119 teams in the NCAA, and they have done a pretty good job bottling them up. I know there's some yards building up here, but for the most part, they've limited the big plays, and that is what has kept Army in this game.
Army came in averaging 193 rushing yards per game to their opponent. As Boomer said, bottom 5 in the country. And movement up front. Army claiming that it was Navy that coaxed them off sides. James Rossi in a matchup with John Wright.
And this is a huge call right here, depending on who they call.
Right
it looks like it's going to be on Navy.
False start. 87 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
And you just heard Capo saying to the referee, they're calling our cadence. They're calling our cadence. Now, in the NFL, you're not allowed to do that. And he's claiming you can't do that here either.
Well, there was Tomlinson, who was over at the end of the line. There might have been subtle movement just prior.
Question is somebody on Army calling out the cadence? And if he did, he got away with it, and that was a huge penalty against Navy right here.
Just the second penalty against the midshipmen here today, but it forces them into a 3rd and 9. Crucial play. Kaipo on the roll. Kaipo. Ugly floater up top. It's incomplete. He was getting pushed to the sideline by Rockwood, and the chase from Barrett Scruggs, and a flag thrown.
I think this is going to go against Navy. It's going to be a legal man downfield, so Army will decline this and force Navy into punting formation.
Downfield. Number 75 on the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And if I'm Army, I leave my, well, they're going to go ahead and change to their special teams punt unit, but I would more inclined to leave my defense out there, do what they call a punt safe, to make sure that the ball is actually punted, as opposed to yet another fake punt attempt here.
We've seen one from each squad. A fake punt from Army, which was successful. Fake punt from Navy, also successful. And a 4th and 9 for the Mids. Greg Vitetto will punt it. Jeremy Trimble waiting. And this time they will kick it.
It looked like Australian rules football there for a minute, didn't it?
A little bit.
Rugby?
Ben Graham from the New York Jets. But effective enough, so Army will take over. Just shy of the 25-yard line here in the fourth.
Some have never tasted victory against their rival. And some have never tasted defeat.
Got pop.
Get any new Jeep vehicle like the new Wrangler Unlimited equipped with a Sirius satellite radio, and you'll get a 12-month subscription to the best radio on radio.
Now I'm gonna try Hurricane.
Show off.
You know, I just love this time of year. Everybody's getting together to enjoy good company and great food. And that's why I got together with Applebee's to add some exciting new flavor to the holidays. Check out my new ribeye with garlic chili shrimp. A juicy soy marinated ribeye seared to perfection and topped off with crispy Asian veggies, shrimp, and my own garlic chili sauce. Now that smells absolutely delicious.
New holiday flavor at Applebee's. And for the perfect gift, Applebee's gift cards.
And that's eating good in the neighborhood.
For those in the academic, medical, cultural, and research fields beginning to think about their financial future, we're TIAA-CREF. We have more than 85 years expertise building retirement plans just for you. Let our experience and personalized, objective advice help you meet your retirement goals, starting today. TIAA-CREF, financial services for the greater good.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Jeep, Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar, TIAA-CREF, and by Dell. Back in Philadelphia, 14-7, Navy leading Army coming up tomorrow on CBS, 60 Minutes. The man with the idea that is changing the way millions of Americans are watching movies in their own homes, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Cold Case, and Without a Trace, tomorrow on CBS, America's #1 network. A boomer for the Navy seniors, a chance to make history here. And in chatting with many of them, John Chan in particular, he said there's enormous pressure to go 8-0 against the other service academies. Chance to make a lasting memory for these seniors. And he said, I'm actually nervous. I'm nervous about completing the feat.
And no other class at any service academy has ever done that. That's why it's such a big deal to these guys. And on the other side, for Army, Cameron Craig was telling us to beat Navy would be the best win of his career. And that's because they've never beaten Navy since he's been there. And, you know, you don't want to leave with that legacy either, as these, you know, cadets have really obviously put a lot into this emotionally, physically. They got a lot riding on it. Their head coach, Bobby Ross, has made them aware of what their opportunities are, and to come away with a win here would be huge for these Army seniors.
2nd and 8 after the 2-yard VD run.
I can't impress upon people enough just how much it means to these players.
On 2nd down, McMahon. Well-earned yards, 2 of them. Ty Adams, first man there defensively, with Caldwell finishing him off for Navy.
You know, and again, you see Vitti and Mahoney colliding in the backfield, and fullbacks love to touch the football, as Vitti has touched it more in this game than most. And, but he also has to block. He's got to be the lead blocker for Moore. And sometimes Mahoney will win the blocking matchup, and then other times Vitti will win it, depending on how Moore reads it. And that time Moore read it correctly and went inside at 8 yards.
Vitti's paternal grandfather and maternal grandfather both served in the Army. 3rd and 6. Picked off. Jeff DeLees. And there's the mistake on offense for Army.
As you can see right there in that cadet's face, he was just hoping that these things would not crop up again. And here it is, as Carson Williams throws an interception, and this just drives people crazy. I'm watching Bobby Ross on the sideline as he talks to him, saying, what were you looking at?
DeLees with his first pick, the junior from Clinton Township, Michigan. Army has turned it over. Navy looking to put away the Black Knights here in the 4th quarter.
The German word for safe is sicher. The Portuguese word for firewall is muro de fogo. The Chinese word for password is mima. My company's in 17 countries now, and I can say secure in every one of them.
Dynamic networking from AT&T identifies security threats before they're problems, so Jane's confidence grows right alongside her company. The new AT&T, your world delivered.
How do you find someone?
How many fingers am I holding up? 4.
When your only witness is out of his mind?
He was this screwed up. No telling what he did to her.
New Without a Trace, CBS Sunday.
The CBS Sports Desk is presented by the new AT&T.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Brando, and welcome to the AT&T CBS Sports Desk. In college football today, USC and UCLA. The Bruins surprising the Trojans, have the ball on the USC 5-yard line going in. Scoreless. John David Booty has been dealing with outside blitzes all day long, so they're scoreless. USC wins. They move into the national title game. Over in the ACC, Wake Forest kicker Sam Swank, a 22-yard game-winning field goal. They win their first title, or actually their second title ever, and advance to the Orange Bowl. Speaking of the Orange Bowl, awaiting could be Louisville if they get some help tonight. Brian Brom finds his receiver Harry Douglas over the middle, 67 yards to strike en route to Routing, Connecticut. Louisville needs a Rutgers loss to West Virginia, and they'll win the Big East and move into the Orange Bowl. And a record-setting performance in Division III basketball. Lincoln University of Pennsylvania defeated Ohio State Marion 201-78. That's right, I said 201-78. That's all for now from the AT&T CBS Sports Desk. Let's get you back to Army-Navy.
The CBS Sports Desk is presented by the new AT&T.
.10:42 left in Philadelphia. Navy 14, Army 7. Let's go downstairs, check in with Sam Ryan.
Well, Navy now has the momentum. They also have the inspiration from the senior Eddie Martin. Eddie was diagnosed with lymphoma before the start of the season. Now, you had passed all your team physicals. How was this diagnosed?
Basically, I had the physical, did all the physical conditioning, and then I had the symptoms that pretty much set like an alert to the doctors, and then they sent me over to Bethesda and ran a couple tests, and the test revealed that I had a cancerous mass in my abdomen.
What is the diagnosis, Eddie?
Well, it was Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the treatment's been going well, and recovery is going great. I'm on track to finish up somewhere around February, March.
That's great news, Eddie. You are a true hero. They are wearing his number 32 on the back of their helmets, guys.
All right, Sam, Eddie, thank you very much. Eddie Martin has been an inspiration for this Navy team throughout the season, attending home games. This is his first road game of the year. On a handoff for Eric Katani. And Katani able to pick up 7 yards on first down. Eddie Martin was involved today. In fact, he held the American flag, leading Navy onto the field. And wearing number 32, his jersey.
Every player we talked to said that Eddie Martin was an inspiration to them, not because of what he was battling, but was because he showed up for all those preseason conditioning rules and went through it while he had that mass inside of him and would not be denied.
Incredible. On a 2nd and 3, Katani gets the call. Very close to a first down. See where they spot the football for Navy.
You know, this is a game also that you have quarterback situations on both teams. One guy gets hurt on Navy, the other guy has to come in. The other side, one guy is benched because of Thibodeau, is benched because of ineffectiveness. Then comes the rookie Carson Williams. You talk to these 4 guys, they all pull for each other. There's no backstabbing. They're all on the same team. They're all brothers, and it's all sincere, which is a refreshing aspect from my standpoint, let me tell you.
On 3rd and 1, Kaipo staying on his feet. Whistle was blown. And looks like he got enough, a 2-yard gain. We'll wait for the official word, but on the live look, he had enough, and he's got it. Time right now for Red Lobster. They present today's scholar athlete, Zerbin Singleton, junior slot back, aerospace engineering major with a GPA of 3.29, wants to be an astronaut, was a state wrestling champion. Singleton transferred from Georgia Tech and has been a part of this Navy offense.
Prior to the snap, false start, 63 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to Navy's scholarship fund. King of Queens, the 1-hour season premiere, is coming up on Wednesday. Special 1-hour edition, 8 o'clock, 7 Central. Comedy is king when the King of Queens returns to CBS. On a 1st and 15. On a pitch, Campbell. And forced out of bounds. Scruggs over there. In addition, Kevin Opoku. We check in for another update to New York. Tim Brando.
All right, fellas, we told you on the update that UCLA was inside the 5 from the 1-yard line. Patrick Cowan, good move here. And yes, he does break the plane. Proof positive that UCLA has the lead. Possibly good news in Michigan and maybe the Sunshine State. Ian?
A lot of interested parties right now for USC, UCLA. You're right about Florida, Tim. And Michigan, of course, holding on to their BCS hopes for a national championship. And Kaipo up the middle for a gain of 3. Well, Navy, that's a sight that we see every year when Army and Navy meet. Third and 8.
Sweaters. Look at those sweaters on.
Yeah, those are made specifically for.
You don't think they come from the goat, though, do you?
No, you can't. That wouldn't be right.
But the Navy sweaters with the stripes on the sleeves are great looking.
What about Army? You like the Army look?
I like the Army grays. I do that. I told you that when we first started this job.
Yep. 3rd and 8. Can Army hold once again? And Katani. Not quite enough for a first down. He picked up 7, needed 8 yards to keep the drive going. Now they face a 4th and 1.
You know, and if you had a normal offense that wasn't the best rushing offense in football, I'd say, okay, you're going to go out there and kick a field goal. You know, go up by 10 points, no big deal. But this is Navy's offense. This is the best running game in all of college football. And Paul Johnson showing his confidence in his team by electing to go for it. 5 different midshipmen have rushed for over 100 yards this season. This is 4th and a long 1. Shifting is Campbell to the backfield. But they're not going to snap it.
And Kaipo will use a timeout.
Timeout.
Navy has used its final timeout with a 14-7 lead in the 4th.
Why am I a Dell customer? Because they design solutions around the apps that I use to manage my customers, not around the solution Dell wants to sell. Everything's more open and easier to manage, so Dell doesn't lock me in. They set me free to grow.
Dell PowerEdge 2950 servers feature the reliability of dual-core Intel Xeon processors. It's your enterprise, so every Dell solution is purely you.
The totally new Jeep Compass. With an available 458-watt Boston acoustic stereo, MP3 input, and available Sirius satellite radio. It's never been more fun to give your friends a lift to work. Jeep Compass. It's freedom in a whole new dimension.
Extra, extra! Papa John's Superman Pan Pizza is here!
It's big news. Papa John's Superman Pan Pizza. Piled high with the works. 7 tasty toppings. Call now or order online and get a large Superman Pan Pizza for $12.99. $12.99, including a $3 coupon for Superman Returns on DVD.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
The weekend is my time, carry time. I really want to spend it with you.
Don't miss the 1-hour king-size season premiere of The King of Queens, CBS Wednesday.
(14-7) Navy leading Army with 7:10 to play in the 4th quarter. Carson Williams interception setting up Navy with excellent field position. They now face a 4th and 1. After trying to draw Army off sides, Paul Johnson uses a timeout to discuss strategy here.
Well, if you ask me, you kick the field goal and you go up by 10 and you force Army to throw the football, something they don't do very well, and try to get another turnover. So I think this is the right move for Coach Johnson in the Naval Academy.
Matt Harmon, a 34-yard attempt. Jared Bryant will hold it. Matt Oberlander, the snapper. His long is 39. Chance to make this a 2-possession game. Just over 7 minutes to play. 34 yards away. Harmon. He's got it. Navy takes a 17-7 lead over Army here in the 4th.
And And the interception comes back to haunt Army, and it's a nice kick right down the center as Navy goes up by 10 points. And Bobby Ross knows that's not what he wanted to see.
17-7, Paul Johnson's team in front. Army running out of time in the 107th edition of America's Classic.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans.
Guess who just got back today?
Built comfortable.
That voice that had been away.
Built strong.
Ain't had much to say.
Built right.
Think them cats are great. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Applebee's brings the holidays new flavor. Parmesan crusted tilapia, lime kissed shrimp, and a seared crab cake in our new mixed seafood grill. Only at Applebee's.
Class of '94. Here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
A man could kill from sunup to sunset, and still his work would never be done.
Got something? One more chance.
Next Saturday, college basketball. Indiana takes on Kentucky. Then, top-ranked UCLA tangles with Texas A&M. It's doubleheader action next Saturday, beginning at noon Eastern, right here on CBS. 17-7, Navy in front of Army after a 7-play, 19-yard drive, setting up the Harmon 34-yard field goal. It was the interception from Jeff DeLees that got Navy into proper position, and now they own a 10-point lead. Kicking off to Army, just over 7 minutes left to play. Corey Anderson, return man for the Black Knights. And Anderson with a stutter step move, able to take it just shy of the 30-yard line. Clint Sovey for Navy makes the play on special teams, a 20-yard return for Anderson. 6:57 on the clock for Bobby Ross and company to try to come from behind against Navy, a team that has dominated them each of the last 4 years.
All right, a couple reminders now for Carson Williams. You don't have to get it all back in one play. You know, still take what the defense gives you. Don't get nervous. Try to be poised back there, and you're asking your offensive line, give your young quarterback plenty of time.
Here's Williams, play fit on a bootleg throw, and a strike to Mike Wright out along the sideline for a pickup of 7. Time for another update to New York. Timmy B.
Ian Boomer, take a look at this reception, all right? In the big game, this is T.C. Ostrander of Stanford connecting with Evan Moore. Oh, he's got Velcro in his hand. 51 yards to the hookup. Cal still leads by 3 with plenty of time remaining in the third.
Another great college football rivalry, Stanford at California, 109th meeting. Mike Vitti, and gets pancake backwards, a loss of 2. David Mahoney with an aggressive play defensively for Navy. Clock is moving under 6 minutes left. A 3rd and 5 for Army, trailing by 10.
You know, David Mahoney has had a well-open football game, and it's not just about tackling Vitti, but he has been beating Vitti in the backfield on many a running play on Army, and he has really held up nicely for the Navy defense.
Mahoney, childhood friend of Matt Hall, fullback. Hall, one of the guys that convinced him to attend the Naval Academy. On 3rd down, Williams picked off, intercepted by Keenan Little. Little accelerating, and he takes it the distance. Touchdown, midshipman.
This is a nice play by Keenan Little, good coverage, but Walter Hill falls and slips as he comes out of his break that leads to this interception. And 2 interceptions here in the 4th quarter. basically end up killing Army's chance for victory.
Keenan Little, who wants to be a Navy pilot, just flew to the end zone for the Mids. Highly recruited out of high school. Little had the likes of Wake Forest and Clemson interested. And in Kuwait, the Go Navy chance beginning to build. The senior from Crest High School, Boiling Spring, North Carolina, has put a capper on it for Navy. Midshipmen are in control. They lead it 24-7 over Army.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and Mom didn't know, but Dad's right behind her, with a box and a bow.
This Christmas, tell her she's the greatest chapter in your life story with diamond earrings from Kay Jewelers, where you can be assured of two things. Every diamond is hand-selected to match beautifully, and she'll absolutely love them.
But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight,
I'll always remember how I feel tonight.
Every kiss begins with K.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS rocks with regional action. The Jets take on the Pack. Peyton and the Colts meet Vince Young. And the Titans and the Jaguars tangle with the Dolphins. Check your local listings. Beginning with the NFL today, JB, Dan, Shannon, and that guy.
Oh, look at that smile.
Boomer Esiason. Here on the home of Super Bowl 41, CBS Sports. We're having fun this year, huh?
We do, man. I'll tell you what, JB has been a great addition, and I'll tell you that Shannon Sharp is laugh out loud funny. He is stand-up comedian stuff. Some of the stuff he comes up with, I don't know where he gets it from.
I saw that bodybuilding magazine.
That Flex.
Oh my gosh. That's impressive. Corey Anderson able to cover it up. Army finds themselves in a 24-7 hole.
Not all interceptions are quarterback's faults. Here's Keenan Little. Look at that jam right there. Walter Hill can't get his feet, and the ball has got to be thrown on time. That's exactly what Carson Williams is doing. So I think Carson right there a little bit the victim in that interception as opposed to the cause of the interception.
Well, second half, it has spiraled out of control for Army on offense. A couple of interceptions, a missed field goal. They were hanging in there with Navy. Navy did score on its first possession of the second half to take a 14-7 lead. And now it's 24-7 Mids. Williams avoids the rush, throwing on the run, and complete just short of the 40-yard line to Mike Wright, sophomore from Iowa. And a flag thrown back where Williams had set up. 18-yard pass and catch. And it's coming back.
Well, this is going to be an offensive lineman downfield. I guess they thought that maybe Carson Williams was going to run with it.
Number 79 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now that's Brandon Cox, the sophomore.
You know, how many times have you said sophomore or freshman associated with Army?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think Bobby Ross's future there looks bright. The team looks bright. I know Bobby is going to take this very, very hard. This is something that he told us and his son told us that he wanted to win this game more than any game he's ever played, including the Super Bowl when he took the San Diego Chargers to that Super Bowl.
Blown away when he said that.
But I believe him. I believe him.
Williams, play action, and sacked inside the 5. Tyler Tidwell, the senior international relations major from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Well, you know what this is? This is a coverage sack. You can only hold the ball for so long. You got to let it go. 3.5 seconds, more than enough time. Tidwell coming off of a block and getting up there inside. And this is a very difficult spot to be in if you are a freshman quarterback right now.
Tidwell's dad, Bobby, was a Marine, served in Vietnam. Look out. Safety. Guess who? Tyler Tidwell breaking through. Navy adds to its lead.
You know, I think that Carson Williams' first interception really kind of took him out of this game. Actually, it was the end of the first half when he had a fumbled snap. He also took a intentional grounding penalty, and since that point, he just has not been very sharp. And you know, the last thing you could do is take a sack in the end zone. You got to know where you are on the football field.
3:50 left. Navy going to their 4th consecutive bowl and looking for their 5th consecutive win against Army.
You've been looking forward to a celebration this big all year. It's time to indulge in Red Lobster's Big Seafood Festival, a feast we're preparing with new combinations of our biggest, most indulgent seafood, like succulent rock lobster tail and king crab with decadent jumbo shrimp scampi. Or try a combination of 3 of your jumbo shrimp favorites. The bigger the seafood, the bigger the celebration. So come in and feast before it's over, only at Red Lobster.
Trust. It's everything. Nobody hands out trust. Talent is one thing. Combine talent with people you trust, and you will walk on that court with a level of respect no one can match.
The Hartford, a company built on 195 years of trust. Ask your advisor what The Hartford can do to help you plan for your future. Because you're not preparing to retire, you're preparing to live.
From the Blue Angels in Pensacola, Florida, go Navy, beat Army.
I'm actually queasy.
I'm a little dizzy myself.
Yeah. Well, right now
that young man's got a lot to smile about. Well, they all do.
The Navy midshipmen allowing themselves to celebrate after what was a tight game. Well contested, by far the best performance we've seen from Army in 5 years. But second half, Boomer, the Navy has shown itself as the team that they have developed into this season, with a win here would improve to 9-3. First safety for Navy since 1999. And on the kick, Campbell, the return man, and slips down as he hit the 30-yard line. And flags come down as Campbell was down at the 30. 3:41 to play here in the 4th. So a personal foul against Army, and probably some frustration as this game has gotten away from them in the 4th quarter.
Dead ball. Personal foul, late hit. 15 yards. First down.
Well, let's review, and gives us a chance to get in the title Boom with a View once again. America loves it.
Well, we were talking about the Army offense. As long as the game was close, give it to Mike Vitti. That's the naval medicine. Get the fullback involved. They did that until the freshman was rattled by the Navy defense, as you see right there. 3 pressures, 2 sacks, a couple interceptions. And the Navy offense keep trucking. That's exactly what they did, even though they lost Ballard in the beginning. Batani and Kai Pope came out. They played well, especially in the second half. And then the Army defense, for the most part, they did do well. They did trust and read, trusting each other to do their job, read the backfield sets, know where they're coming from. And without the interceptions, I think the game is close. A couple missed opportunities by Army at the end of the first half. And ultimately, this game now has gotten out of control in favor of Navy.
Now Carson Williams, a learning experience for him, and for the Army Black Knights, it's going to be the same result. Jared Bryant, the new quarterback in. Sophomore from Hoover, Alabama on the carry. Charlie Rockwood, the tackle. We head to New York. Tim Brando.
Ian Boomer, I want you to take a look at the left side of your screen. This is the offensive center trying to protect his quarterback, Patrick Cowan of UCLA. Number 54, Robert Shai. He's called for holding while Cowan's in the end zone. It results in 2 points for the Trojans. It's now 7-2 in Pasadena with so much at stake. Fellas.
It's a safety Saturday.
I will tell you something, that USC is loaded. Not only are they good this year, they're going to be good for years to come with all those freshmen that are receiving significant playing time out there. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with for a while.
You think your former head coach, Pete Carroll, comes back to the pro ranks?
I don't know why he would, to be honest with you. I love him as a coach.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
I loved him as a head coach when he was with me at the New York Jets. He always went over situations, and we always were very prepared. But he has kind of a laid-back attitude that I think for college kids, it's the greatest attitude. And I know that the moms, when they meet him, I want my son to go there. That's where I want my son. If he can't go to West Point or the Naval Academy or Air Force, I want him to go to USC.
Now, Pete's a charmer.
He is.
On a 3rd and 13. Here's Bryant. And takes a shot as he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Time to check out our Ruby Tuesday player of the game. Eric Katani stepping in, sophomore from Kirtland, Ohio. Did not expect to see a lot of action behind Adam Ballard. Ballard goes down with a leg injury early, and Katani steps in. 15 carries, 67 yards with a long of 14. And Navy's offense was still able to function with a big fullback.
Well, the fullback is, outside the quarterback, the next most important player on the team. And to come in this game and to have that kind of performance, I can understand why. But also, don't forget how great Navy's defense has played today as well. I mean, Rob Caldwell, Tyler Tidwell, David Mahoney, they've been all over the place. John Chan made a couple big plays. A few interceptions there. Keenan Little returned for a touchdown. A tremendous job by the Navy defense, but this kid right here, just an opportunity that presents itself. You make it happen, and you deserve the credit for it. So, as I said, the fullback is one, the key position, I think, when you're trying to stop this Navy offense.
4 straight bowl games for Navy with 4 different quarterbacks.
It's the system. It's got to be the system.
You think so?
They said that about Bill Walsh.
They went to the Houston Bowl in 2003, the Emerald Bowl in 2004, and the Poinsettia Bowl last year, and a blowout victory over Colorado State. Down to 1:46 left.
And remember the legacy that the seniors are leaving. This is 8-0 in Service Academy games.
Offside on the defense. Illegal contact in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
I'll give you one more. With this win over Army and a victory in the bowl game, the seniors for Navy will have won 36 games over their 4 years. That would match a school record set back in 1909. Vitello with Trimble waiting. Takes a bounce. Trimble moves forward, and it's touched up by Navy as Mahoney makes it down the field. Time for the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. And this put Navy in front for the first time today. Tomlinson, the touchdown for the Naval Academy. 14-7. And the Mids have never looked back. They lead at 26-7 with 1:36 left to play. Well, for Army, they closed the gap in this matchup, considering what we've seen the last 4 years. Drop ball. Tim Dunn, senior. His brother Kevin is a backup quarterback here on this Army team. Older brother, should say other brother Tommy, is a freshman manager on the football team, so the Dunns are very much involved in Black Knight football. SEC championship coming up. Arkansas and Florida, with the Gators trying to keep their national championship hopes alive. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson coming up here on CBS. Williams throwing complete. There's Dunn out near midfield.
And right now for Carson Williams, it is important to leave on a positive note. Complete the passes, step back there, get the feel of this Army-Navy game. He's going to be a part of it for the next 3 years, so you want to leave with a positive feeling. Kind of like when I leave the booth from you.
Is that because we don't see each other for another year? It's sad, actually. We don't call. Williams throwing to Dunn. And getting it deeper into Navy territory inside the 30-yard line.
You know, talking to Williams this week, I was impressed. And, you know, he has a little bit of the cockiness that you need. And this was a freshman who came through the Beast Barracks. That every West Point person who's ever been associated with that school knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Did you like that southern accent?
I did. Here's Joe Namath like.
A little bit. Alabama kid.
That's right.
Jeremy Trimble. And he's got enough for the first down. Inside the 20-yard line now for Army. They'd love to put some more points on the board before this one is through. But you know, for the seniors, Cameron Craig out of Garden City, Kansas. A guy who really wasn't recruited by a Division I school coming out of high school. Army believed in him, gave him an opportunity. And Williams goes down. Jeff DeLees, who had the earlier interception, will be given credit for the sack.
Well, I was just going to say that Navy was playing passively on defense. They would just sit back in their prevent, but obviously with that man right there rushing, that's a blitz. Nice play by DeLees. And don't you feel bad for Cameron Craig, though?
Yep.
I mean, talking to him and knowing how much this game meant to him, he has nothing to hang his head about.
His uncle, Albert Gomez, is a 79 graduate of West Point. He sold Craig on the merits of the academy. He had Craig send tapes to all the academies. Air Force called first, and they asked him about a player on the tape that he was playing against. I mean, that's a dig. There's no way to look at it any other direction from what Air Force gave him a slap in the face. Army called him, flew him up a week later. Craig was sold. Air Force then called again, and Craig said, hey, you snooze, you lose.
I don't know about the facial paint, but I will tell you this, that this is one fine young man, and his uncle has a lot to be proud of, and so do his parents.
Well, Brian Hampton was hoping for a chance to come on and take a victory knee. It is not to be here with 40 seconds left, and Army controlling the football. Jeremy Trimble. Trimble will be back for his senior season. He's the go-to wide receiver on this Army team. And Jeremy McGowan, senior from Houston, making the stop and a timeout taken with 31 seconds left. Now for Army, the Black Knights, disappointing season. This really was supposed to be a turnaround year for Bobby Ross and company. They're going to wrap it up at 3-9 and on a 6-game losing streak to end the season. And over those 6 games, if you count the 7 points tonight, that would be 75 points over 6 games.
Well, the turnovers, interceptions have really killed them. And to a man, most of us told us that their game against Air Force, which was at home at Army, they were driving down. The defense came out and actually stopped Air Force, and then the offense went right down to the 1-yard line. There was a fumbled snap. We saw one of those tonight. And the Air Force picked it up and ran it back 99 yards for a touchdown. And that was the play that kind of really ruined the rest of their season, you know, because they started 3-3. And, you know, I think back to their Texas A&M game. They lost 28-24 in week 3, and they could have won that game. And this was a team that just beat Texas. So, I mean, the wheels came off when the interceptions started happening, and you're playing with a young quarterback, and that's going to happen. And I think he's gaining valuable experience.
There's Williams throwing under pressure to Trimble. And Trimble falls forward just short of the 10-yard line. Army's 3 wins this season over Kent State in overtime, over Baylor in OT, and a win over VMI.
Carson Williams is desperately trying to get his team in the end zone here on 4th down.
Final seconds on 4th down. Williams will throw it and caught. Touchdown. Tim Dunn for Army. And a nice way for the senior to end his collegiate career at West Point.
And a nice way for Carson Williams to finish the game. You finish the game strong. You want to be proud. You want to make sure that you go out there, give it your best effort, and finish on a positive note, knowing that you can compete at this level. So congratulations to Carson Williams and his offensive mates.
26-13. And Miller on for the extra point for Army. (26-14) Navy. 2 seconds remain.
Well, I was going to say, well, as you see Bobby Ross and Carson Williams, I hope that they remain together. I hope Bobby stays and fights through it. You know, he was the one guy that taught me a long time ago when I had him for a college head coach. And every one of my teammates who's listening today, and anybody who's ever played for Bobby Ross knows what I mean. They made us overachieve. He made us overachieve. He made us believe in ourselves, and he gave us the blueprint for success. And I owe a great deal of my gratitude to that gentleman right there. He's a terrific person. He has integrity, he's credibility, he's honesty, he's everything that they teach and want you to be if you come from West Point.
Adam Ballard, the junior fullback who was lost in this game very early, leg injury. And Ballard supported his teammates from the sideline.
They all do. They all do. They all want to be there. Yep. Injuries, illness, whatever the situation is, a death in the family, they all want to be together. This is a brotherhood that bonds them for life. And every single one of these guys told us that. And, I know it's going to be tough when they sing the alma maters after the game, and that's a source of pride for the winning team. But at the end of it, they go home, they're brothers in arms, they shake hands, and they become brothers for life on both teams.
On the kickoff, and that's it. It is a Service Academy sweep for the Navy seniors. They have knocked off Army for the 5th consecutive year. 26-14 the final. The midshipmen with another win under their belt. Paul Johnson's team improves to 9-3. Black Knights of Army fall to 3-9. Sam Ryan downstairs with Coach Johnson.
Well, Paul Johnson, you went back to basics in the second half. Army was not able to capitalize on those early opportunities in the second half. Your team was. What can you say about the way your team responded?
Well, we found a way to win. We didn't play very well, and you have to give Army some credit for that. But, you know, anytime a young quarterback in this game, and we just didn't play well. We took advantage of some opportunities in the second half, and were able to get ahead enough to win the game. I thought the defense played really good in the second half, our defense.
And about your seniors, now they do something really special going down in the history books. You've seen them through it all, 8-0 against the service academies. How proud are you of them?
Well, I'm really proud of them. That's quite a record, and you know, it's one that nobody can ever take away from them. They'll have that for the rest of their life, and you know, just happy for them that they won.
Congratulations, Paul.
Thanks.
Ian?
All right, Sam, thanks very much. And these seniors played such a large role in this program being revitalized under Paul Johnson. That class has emerged as one of the most successful classes in Navy football history.
And we talked about at the top of the program, Ian, it was about leaving a legacy that they could be proud of, and that's exactly what they did. Not only did they leave a legacy, they've left something for everybody to shoot for.
Well, as is tradition after the game, teams will face their fellow cadets and midshipmen in the stands. While players stand at attention, the losing team's alma mater is played first, then the winning team. And for the 5th straight year, we will hear from the Army alma mater first. now the teams will make their way to the other side of the stadium.
You know, it's hard to think of these guys as kids, but that's exactly what they're. They're young men, but they're still kids at heart, especially the football players. The brigade is obviously very proud to be able to do this second for the 5th year in a row.
The Navy alma mater as the midshipmen take care of business again. This classic rivalry once again belongs to Navy, 26-14. For Boomer Esiason and Sam Ryan, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from Philadelphia. Coming up, the SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper, Arkansas against Florida. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.